and Mitch Troy going head-to-head. Geelong Amateur and Anglesey. And I know that Matthew Kershaw will be keen to see how that unfolds, where Riley, after a wonderful career at St Joseph's, triple premiership player, more than 100 games, the knee injury has brought his career to a close and finds himself with his old mate Dan Holroyd leading the charge down at Queen's Park, or KFC Oval.
KFC Oval against one of his premiership teammates today in Jordan Kerris. So they'll go head-to-head, and Riley was a bit nervous this morning, but I said just enjoy the moment. You'll be fine. Yeah.
If you can coach, anybody can.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, he'd be better than his old man, would he? Drysdale and Barwon Heads is a mouth-watering matchup to get things underway down there. They had a sad off season, a couple of big losses off the field. Barney Dieth, who they've actually renamed their Best Club Person Award after, it was announced on Thursday night. Barney was a great servant of Bellarine and football and the Drysdale Club, football and netball. And Alan O'Neill, Muncher O'Neill, was a revered figure down at the Hawks, so they'll have plenty of emotion in today's game. Queenscliff and Mottawarri, we see Chris Carlin back coaching alongside Tommy Hornsey. Torquay and Ocean Grove, our old mate Dave Farrell takes hold of the Grubbers against Dom Gleeson, and that is a 5-10 bounce in that one. And in the GDFNL this afternoon, Bellpost Hill against Anarchy, Inverleigh and Corio, Thompson and North Geelong, new coach at North Geelong in Michael Boothie, who you would have crossed paths with at Barwon Heads.
I played and coached Boothie at Barwon Heads back in the day.
Is he the only person in the world who actually is just known by his surname? Like, you just call him Boothie?
Yep, I think so. And he's the only bloke I still know who is well in his 40s that tips his hair still, but...
He's a good man. There's 3 twilight games at 5 o'clock. Bannockburn and Werribee Centrals. Geelong West and East Geelong at West Ovals at 5:30. Matty Iannelli becomes as Kobe Annan is the tallest water boy ever. So of course Werribee wouldn't let him play today despite having the bye. He's just run past us, and he likes giving me the lip running past a commentary box. Kobe's got history with that. East Geelong Tommy Cordamars will take charge there with Benny Bosley stepping down. And, of course, Winchelsea and Belmont Lions, Butch Shaw, another St Joseph's connection. There's a few ex-St Joey's boys running around in the coaching ranks in local footy. Belmont Lions, Brent Vermeulen comes home, and Andy Walscott, of course, who had a great career at Barwon Heads, joining him. But just looking out and seeing Mark Hildebrand,
look at him.
Stephen Winter, some great names. Billy Dixon's also involved as part of this coaching structure at North Shore. Just interesting to see on the St Joseph's coaching list, obviously Paul Hood, assistant coach, Nathan McClure
over from Bellpost Hill last year.
Well, no, he was Newtown.
Oh, Newtown, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think he had last year off, I think.
Yes, he did.
But was involved. He was one of the 52 assistant coaches in 2001 at 21 at Newtown.
Coach of twos to a premiership, actually, at Newtown, yes. 52 coaches. I saw your mate's left.
Who?
Simon.
Yeah, where is he going?
Werribee.
Back to Werribee, yes.
Simon Riddock.
Simon Riddock, yeah. So they're only down to 50 now at Newtown.
It was a bit more streamlined last year.
Harvey Williams is gone. He's back to amateurs.
So, well, we wish all local clubs all the very best as we roll into season 2023. Our head-to-head for Geelong Insurance Brokers, covering Geelong for 30 years. Recruits versus recruits is what Matty Kershaw will be keeping an eye on. So, some new names. If you've just joined our coverage, of course, through AFL Barwon TV via the AFL Barwon website, or K-Rock Football, or krockfootball.live. Harry Cornelius in number 17 for North Shore. Number 24 will be Jordan Lane. Number 42, Bo Tedcastle. Number 38, Jackson Smith down from Noosa. Zach Adams in number 32 out of Kingborough in Tasmania is a new player as well. So there's 5 newbies for North Shore. For St Joseph, 7 new faces. Max McLaughlin already getting raps from the coach, wearing number 2. Number 10 will be Ben Kamarick. Number 31, Archer Dibsdale from Muralbark. Oscar Hocking will be in 42. Hunter Lewis in 43. Which Humphrey had 43? Which one's going to play cricket? Aussie's going to play cricket in
playing
England.
the twos.
Ollie Northern will wear number 53, which isn't a revered number at St Joseph's. So Joseph Chaplin from Devonport wearing number 13. There's one bloke I am going to miss not calling this year.
That
Luke Webb.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Luke Webb launching it from the goal square.
He'll still be celebrating after the cricket premiership last week, I suspect.
Murgy Bullock.
Murgy, captain, yes.
And
GCA 2s.
He's going to play with Strathfield Say.
He is.
In the Bendigo League in season 2020. 2023. We've done the ground report for South Point Garden Supplies. It's just starting to get chopped up a little bit. Probably a little bit of rain during the week has just softened things up a little bit. But, gee, some long sleeves out there for North Shore. Will Milsom will rock the long sleeves. Brad Tregenza's got the long sleeves. Brad Gerard's got the long sleeves on as well. I think Bo Tedcastle might also be rocking the long sleeves for... in fact, it's Connor Walmsley. Actually, no, it's Hayden Burns who's got the number 40 on as well. As the players from both the seniors and reserves are going to make their way down to former Guard of Honour in front of the 1984 GDFL Premiership flag that St Joseph's won under Herbie Matthews. And we did talk about Jordan Lane. He's a big boy.
43 goals last year, Kingy, and he won the Matthew Richardson medal for the best player in the competition under 23 years of age. So he's got some talent and he's on Port Melbourne's list.
So we are going to get a minute's silence here at Drew Oval. And we will take that minute's silence in memory of Herbie Matthews, a superstar at North Shore, 3-time premiership player, best and fairest, coach of St Joseph's to a premiership, also coached Aniki and Corio. Our umpires today will be Hamish Irvin, Chris Jones and Jack O'Neill, one of our old favourites, and Chris Jones running this one to start season 2023. But we will take the minute's silence here at St Joseph's as they prepare for their clash with North Shore. Our thoughts are with the Matthews family after the passing of Gerald Herbie Matthews in the early hours of this morning. And quite ironic that the two clubs he represented with distinction, St Joseph's and North Shore, will face off to start season 2023. Really looking forward to seeing Jordan Lane in action. He's a... if they had had Annan and Lane today...
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of flexibility to push forward and stretch the opposition, and obviously around the ground that's so dominant. So, and you're up against Ollie Northern, who hasn't played a GFL senior game yet. So, you can really stretch the opposition if you had both of them going.
I haven't seen the toss of the coin. Birchie, down to you. Did you see the coin toss, or it hasn't been done yet?
I don't think I've seen the captains come together yet, so we'll keep a close eye on that.
So Alex Hickey will captain St Joseph's in 2023 as he did last year. I understand Paddy Cleary has stood down as captain of North Shore. See who goes to the middle to take the toss of the coin. Let's go around the panel. Birchie, who's winning this one and by how much this afternoon?
St Joseph's, 46 points.
Whoa, Birchie's gone whack.
Whack!
Kirsch.
St Joseph's by 30.
No pendulum.
No pendulum for round one. We get a feel for it round two.
Jace.
St Joey's by 8 points.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit closer. I'm going to be the...
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to be the outlier here. I'm going to tip North Shore. I'm going to tip them by 7 points. I think we're going to get a good game of footy here this afternoon. They have to snap a 22-game losing streak.
History's against you, Kingy.
History is against me, and they haven't won here at Drew Oval since 2005.
18 years of history you're throwing out the window here.
Well, it doesn't. I don't think it will impact blokes like Lane and...
No, they couldn't care less.
They couldn't give two hoots about the 18 years.
No, exactly. Players in position, umpires in position, and we are not too far away from seeing the players break from their huddles and getting this underway. What do you want to see early from North Shore, Kirsch?
Well, we know what we're going to get. We know we're going to get a hard, fierce tackling side. We know we're going to get that, but I'd like to see some freedom with their running and their ball carrier. I just want to see them hit that forward line, more often than what we'd normally see. So a little bit more quicker play, quicker ball movement, maybe a bit longer kicks into the 50 to give blokes like Jordan Lane and Bo Tedcastle an opportunity to kick some goals and hit the scoreboard.
So we've just been told a couple of number changes for St Joseph's. Ben Kamarick will wear number 41 this afternoon, and and there'll be a change also and this is thanks to our good friend Todd Nikolic at St Joseph's. Number 31, Archer Dibsdale, will now wear. Well, we're going to see the number 33. It won't be Luke Webb, but it will be Archer Dibsdale this afternoon in 33. So
the grammarian, that's what he's going to be known as. That's a good grammar name, that is. Archer Dibsdale.
Archer Dibsdale.
From the Toorak Dibsdales.
Yes, that's right. That's
the leafy suburbs.
Been to the grabber.
So starting in the middle for Connor Walmsley's going to start in the middle. Looks like Phil Bell-Chambers will be in there. Gerard in there as well. I think I saw Harry Purcell. So looks like they're going to start laying forward. So they're going to run Bell-Chambers maybe as an undersized ruck.
They are, by the look of it.
In fact, it's Jacob Miljevic that's in there.
Yeah.
Miljevic's in there. So he might start as an undersized ruck against Northam. So we'll keep an eye on some Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchups. We are ready to go for season 2023. St Joseph's and North Shore. First quarter, thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan. 1% less for 2 years. We are ready to go. Let's get this thing started. 114 games of footy. This is game number 1. Game 114 will find us our premier. And it all begins here on a Saturday afternoon at Drew Oval. Sun is now shining. A bit of cloud cover over the cemetery, but conditions otherwise pretty good to get us underway here in 2023. Umpire Jones is about to hold the ball aloft. Just checks his watch. And we are go for season 2023 GFL style. And to get us underway, here is Jason Doherty.
So it's Oliver Northam up against Miljevic, who goes up and goes straight into Northam, can't get it down. Tregenza comes off half back and gets it for North Shore. He can't pick it up and take it, still in the middle of Drew Oval. Miljevic over the top of it again. Now pushing the back, was that? No, Northam put the tackle on. Umpire said play on, goes back, kick back towards half forward for St Joey's, and the mark taken by Zach Adams for North Shore.
Adams goes wide looking for Ted Castle. Couldn't get his hand on the footy. Sounds like one person, Ted Castle. But it's actually Bo Ted Castle kicking side forward 50 off the hands of the pack. Harry Smith cleans up for St Joseph's. A handball to clear to Finn McComb. McComb towards half back. It's a well-weighted kick and down low. Good grab taken by Ollie Hennessy, who was Joey's leading goal kicker last year. Hennessy will kick towards left half forward on a searching lead. Cal Mitchell, the veteran, diving down low. Plenty of Tasmanians out there this afternoon, Kirsch.
It's like a Tasmanian State League game out here.
Mitchell short. They just hold up Hickey now, turns around, wheels and go inside 50 into the pocket, off hands. The back of the pack, good tackle came from McLaughlin. Handball towards Gerard. He's a short little handball. Going to be chopped off. Mullen broke a tackle, tried to get around number 2, got it back. Handball kick, now kick inside 50. North Shore with the numbers. They can't take the mark. Through the middle, Walmsley. Now Gerard gets it away quickly. Adams gets a chain of handballs. The quick kick came from Jackson Smith. Turned over though at half forward for St Joey's. Tackle on. The umpire will come in. High said the umpire, and a free kick's going to come back, and it will be with Zach Adams for North Shore at left half back.
Adams on Port Melbourne's list from Kingborough in Tassie. Has it at left half back. Sends North Shore towards half forward looking for Lane. Back with the fly, judging it best, the skipper of St Joseph's, Al Hickey. Playing game 105. He's the only member of the top 5 from last year's best and fairest still at St Joseph's. Finishing third last year, goes laterally to Smith. Smith with that elbow strapped, kicks towards a leading De Grande, and he's changed numbers this year. He's gone from 13 to 23, and De Grande has marked. There's going to be a free kick for a push in the contest, and Brad Gerard with that unruly mop of red hair, can't miss him, has taken the mark. He goes short, and Miljevic presenting up takes the mark.
So Miljevic goes deep forward into the pocket. In front, though, and Jordan Lane not happy with the delivery. Al Hickey was able to take the mark easily and get it laterally to Owen in the left back pocket for St Joey's. Cemetery end of Drew Oval. Wants to move it quickly. Goes towards the lead. Oh, Mitchell came out late and got there late. Adams took the mark, got it away quickly. Harry Purcell drills the ball in. Oh, Langan dropped the mark he should have taken. Ball spills free. Kamarick over the top of it. Handball to Grandy. Runs across half back. St Joseph's, can they get around? They try and work the ball through hands. They do so now. Ball comes out towards Jack Buckley. Now towards centre half forward. Numbers. Oh, Leonard put the one hand up. And that is an early Hamlin hanger contender for Jack Leonard at centre half back for North Shore.
Found a spot on Geelong's VFL list again this year. Jack Leonard.
He's got the job on Dibsdale.
Kick towards the wing lane, trying to work his man off the ball. Smith, and he just was able to work him off it quickly. It was O'Dwyer. Kick towards the forward pocket, coming up Al Hickey again. Couldn't mark, found it at ground level. There's a North Shore player down in back play. Umpire didn't see anything untoward. Chance now for Purcell. Good tackle laid there by Felix Henderson. He's just rolling with Henderson this year, not with the Birch bit. Gerard into the pocket, and there's Hickey getting a hand on. That's Al knocking it out of bounds. Yes, just. And Harrison Smith happy to see it out for a boundary throw-in.
Seeing some ball early, isn't he, Al Hickey? He's in amongst every bit of play at the minute.
Left forward pocket. We've played on the Port Phillip Ferry sign clock nearly 4 minutes. No score, Joey's and North Shore.
Boundary throw-in. Northam in front. Got it down as well, but roved by North Shore. They get a chain of handballs. Ends up with Purcell. Could have gone for goal, but out the corner of his eye saw Zach Adams, who has bought his own Sharon this afternoon already, has 4 or 5 possessions in the first 4 minutes and has taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 45 out directly in front at the northern end of the ground. He's keeping his width out there, Kirsch, isn't he?
Absolutely. That's what you got to do. Forward. Yeah, particularly in a smaller ground too. You got to try and open up those channels.
So Zach Adams comes in. A right foot kick, northern end of the ground, looks pretty good off the boot. North Shore are pretty happy with that as well, and he puts his first on the board. First of the afternoon, and first for North Shore, 1 straight 6. They lead St Joey's yet to score. Geelong Bank K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard.
The way St Joseph's are playing, they're sort of getting right up the ground, and that forward's been out of position a fair bit, and turning the ball over around that midfield area is certainly hurting them at the minute. But he looks likely, this Adams, doesn't he? He's had a few touches already, and like we said, he was in 2022 Team of the Year last year in the Tassie League, so he's no schmuck. He certainly holds his width and plays some good footy. Averaging 20 a game last year.
Is there anybody playing in Tassie now?
I don't think so. I think they're all here.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to get a team up in the AFL. There's no one left.
Northern and Miljevic. Northern won the tap, as you'd expect. He'll win most of them this afternoon towards the outer wing. Gerard, hands and knees, couldn't pick it up. Chance now for Antonak on Geelong's VFL list. Ran himself into trouble. Dumped by Lever. That'll be holding the ball, surely. And Lever, after a game with Werribee last week, had 12 possessions in a 1-point loss to the Brisbane Lions, has been sent back to North Shore this week despite Werribee having the bye, and he's won himself a free kick as he brought down Antonak. Came off a pretty handy 2022 season that earned him an invite down to the Cats. Antonak. Lever sets it up into the pocket. Lane is his target, but coming out and judging it best, taking a good mark is Morrison. That's Oscar Morrison on Geelong's VFL list as well after last year at Port Melbourne. Handball on the bounce, asks a lot of Al Hickey, who's turned it over to Purcell. He's dumped in a good tackle though by Al Hickey out of bounds. We'll get a boundary throw in at right half forward. Now a little bit of push and shove, a little bit of testosterone being exuded among the players after a 7-month break. 1 straight 6 North Shore. St Joseph's yet to score. Geelong Bank scoreboard.
Miljevic got it down to the side. Mullen came in for St Joey's. Wrapped up straight away though. And it will be a ball up right half forward. North Shore still into attack. So umpire to come in and do a bit more work. Ball up Northam. Got it down with the right hand. Mullen against Rose. Kick was smothered. Comes back towards Hayes. Couldn't get there though for North Shore. Over the top of it, Walmsley. Played for a bit of a free kick for pushing the back. Didn't get it. Hennessy on hands and knees for St Joey's as well. Bit of a rugby scrum. Gerard gets one high from Mitchell. Ball spills free again. James Hickey was turning around wanting a free kick for holding the ball. He, in the end, had to put the tackle on and did on Jordan Purcell. And we'll have another ball up at centre half forward for North Shore into attack. We've played 7 in this first term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
From the ball up, a free kick, and Northern with a long flowing mane of hair Sends a kick towards the outer wing and leading up and marking on the chest for St Joseph's is De Grande. De Grande bangs it on the right boot towards half forward, looking for a marking option, trying to find Dibsdale, and he just couldn't reel it in. He's a good size too, Archie.
He is, actually, isn't he? Yeah, he's a nice-looking type.
Out. You'd like him in the sales.
He's a progressive type.
Yep. Tap down Northam. Rolling ball. Picked up by Lever, although he had a fit of the fumbles at the wrong time. Just worried out of it by Henderson, who now picks up the loose ball. Handball over the top. Running onto it is Antonak. Tucks it under the arm and has one bounce. Has a second bounce now. Runs to about 60 from goal and sets it up. Wants Mitchell in a one-on-one. Cleary, a good spoil for North Shore. Brought it to the front of the pack. Chance to clean up. Adams, a good handball. And they'll clear through the agency of Purcell. Jordan
Purcell gets it to Walmsley at right half back for North Shore. Just holds the ball up now, called to play on. Has to get around, he goes very short. Well, just 15 metres. Just. And Mark has been taken out there by Harry Purcell. Still right half back, right on the boundary line.
Only play with his socks up out there, I think.
He drives it long towards Lane, who can't take it. Back of the pack. Oh, Hickey got pushed in the back and also held and should take a free kick for St Joseph's and will. That's Al Hickey, who's brought his own footy as well this afternoon. Even Zach Adams, he gets a handball away quickly and they drive it towards half forward, back to whence it came. De Grande put a hand up, couldn't get it. Now he gets it away. Dibsdale off a step. Open half forward flank or centre half forward position, but Adams for North Shore took the mark.
Gave a handball off to Leonard, cruising past, who kicks to the wing and leading up and taking a mark. Was a good one there from, looked like it might have been, I'm not sure who that was. Herschel Carr. Wearing 30 today, not 31. And they find themselves North Shore with Lane taking a mark.
And that's the movement we were looking for earlier, Kingy. We were talking about how we want to see North Shore move the ball quick into their forward line to give blokes like Jordan Lane the opportunity to take a mark. And when that ball's at its highest point, he's going to outmark anyone out there, Jordan Lane. He's a big boy, and that's why they're recruiting him down that forward line.
Jordan Lane out of Kingborough as well, along with Zach Adams. He's also made Port Melbourne's list, but not required by Adam Scrobelack this week, and that is to North Shore's advantage. Ooh. But he shanked that badly and pulled it to the left through for a minor score. And when you're at a venue you haven't won that in 18 years, you've got to take every opportunity. North Shore 1-1-7. St Joseph's yet to score. 9 3/4 minutes played first quarter. And that time clock thanks to Port Phillip Ferries.
Kick in, back for St Joseph's, back towards Hayes for North Shore, got it away by hand to Gerard. He goes top of the goal square, couple there for St Joey's, should be able to run away. Hickey, handball to Hannessy running past. He gets the handball on the outboard, and Finn McComb runs and takes a bounce at half back, drives it towards centre half forward. De Grande gets across there now, needs to draw a player and get some support. He got it to Dibsdale, got it on his bootstraps. Can he get around? He gets a right hand ball back to McComb, who followed up, goes to the pocket. Muir's got a couple on him. He's right in front of goal. Can he pick it up? He's in the pocket now. Leonard comes across as a 2-on-1. Muir's done pretty well. It's 3-on-1. Cleary comes across as well. Mitchell for St Joey's comes out and helps as well, and we'll have a ball back in. Left forward pocket. St Joey's deep into attack.
And this is a rare foray deep into attack. Boundary throw in. Left forward pocket. It's Dibsdale grabbing it out of the ruck against Miljevic, snapping a ball to the top of the square. It'll float across the top of the goal square and be cleaned up in the left back pocket. Purcell on his left boot. A neat little left foot kick. In fact, it was Adams to Hayes. Hayes on his left is okay. And he'll find a way to get out of here through Tregenza. He has a bounce and then sends a kick towards left half forward, and it's just a little bit too long. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in, and insufficient intent is the decision paid by the umpire.
It's just bad skill level.
It was a bad skill error. That's it. There's no certainly. I'm a bad kick. That's all. That's it. You can't get penalised for that.
And from the free kick, St Joseph's have the footy in the hands of Tanner Owen, who's brought to ground, and he has been pinged for holding the ball.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Wow, there's okay.
So Bell Chambers plays on, goes to the pocket. Lane puts his hand up, couldn't take the mark off the pack. Close to the boundary line in the left forward pocket. Kick around the corner! And I think that is a goal.
Who's that?
Now, I'm just trying to work out. He's got about 12 players. Jordan Lane standing in front of him, so I can't quite see who it is. And that is a Lammy's Tavern goal of the day.
As a ripper.
Came out from the forward pocket position close to the boundary line, and it is actually going to be a Bo Tedcastle.
Oh, hello.
So
that's the
Tedcastle
Briggs
has put his first on the board.
Oh, 2 first names.
2 first names. His first, the second for North Shore, 2-1-13. They lead St Joey's yet to score. 12 minutes played. First term, Geelong Bank, K-Rock, first quarter scoreboard.
It was a little bit anticlimactic for old Ted Castle. We couldn't work out who he was. He was that far
First time
away.
we've seen. I know, it's a long way away. Dean, can you put the band around a bit closer? That'd be great.
That was a ripping goal.
Northern, Miljevic to go at it. Northern winning the tap down. Over the footy's Wormsley. Brought to ground ball. Spills out. Chance now for the tackle to be laid by Hennessy on Milsom. And Milsom gives the ball back to the umpire. Umpire O'Neill puts it into the air. Miljevic may be winning that tap, but Northern had another go at it. Fisted it forward about 5 metres. Here's Newhall giving a handball off. Antonak bursting away. Handball off. Just a fit of the fumbles coming from Hunter Lewis there. He was able to find his way back through traffic. Got onto his left. Shot at goal. On debut. I reckon that's first kick, first goal for Hunter Lewis. Buffer's boy has buried one from about 45 metres out. A bit of Lewis magic there. We saw that numerous times in a North Shore jumper through the 90s. And his young fella in a St Joseph's jumper, that's Nathan's boy, Hunter, making a name for himself and kicking a wonderful Lammy's Tavern goal of the afternoon contender. Joey's first on the board. It took 13 and a half minutes. Geelong Bank 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years scoreboard. St Joseph's 1 straight 6, North Shore 2-1-13.
And that's what he can bring. We said it in the pre-game. He's ability to kick another 2 or 3 this quarter. That's what he can bring to the game, and he's electrifying to watch.
So quick reply by St Joey's. Northam goes up, gets it down, beautifully roved in the middle, and they can run free. Hickey goes towards half forward. Lewis is coming out again. Back towards Mulehall, overrunning it to Grandy. Leonard's handball over the top, set Lever a bit of a task. He couldn't pick it up. McComb was there as well. He couldn't pick it up either. Pack develops on centre wing, close to the coach's boxes, and the umpire will come in and ball it up.
There's a little bit of Jordan Kerris about Ben Kamarick.
Yeah, he's a smooth mover, isn't he?
Yeah, just a good size sort of across the chest, and
he's real skillful as well. I've seen him at training a few times, and he's a very skillful unit.
Northam won the tap, then did his own roving, gave a handball to Mullen, a high floating ball. Lewis in a one-on-one, coming across to Grandy, brought it to ground, then tried to do his own roving. Did he get a shove from Hayes? Umpire said didn't see it that way, and he says give it to me, I'll ball it up. Right in front of our best seats in the house, thanks to Apco Cafe 24/7. Try the all-new Chimichanga Jaffle today, only at Apco Cafe 24/7.
Drew Oval, bathed in sunshine now this afternoon for this opening round, or round 3 clash. Through the middle, Hickey couldn't take it. Gerard for North Shore tried to get the handball away, and James Hickey put the tackle on. The umpire will come in a ball up right in front. And as Kingy said, the best seats in the house.
That wasn't a tackle, that was a wrestling.
It was, wasn't it?
Little left forearm over right leg and neck. Now Northam got the tap away. Leonard tracks it, couldn't pick it up. He needs some support. Smith comes across for North Shore to help Wormsley. Off a step, right foot kick back to the middle. It's Joey's with the numbers, punched away from behind. They can't take it with it now. Clearing kick back towards. Oh, that was a high tackle and should. And a second tackle as well. And that was on Hunter Lewis, who got the ball, got a high tackle, and then got one for his trouble as well. And the St Joey's boys coming in to remonstrate. Louis Antonak and Phil Bellchambers having a.
It was Phil Bellchambers, wasn't it? That came in.
Hunter Lewis doesn't care. He's walking to the goal square. So most of the players are in this little fracas in front of us. And half forward, and now the umpire will come down. He's got 50 for that extra tackle from Bellchambers. So Hunter Lewis will, you would suspect, be able to put his second and St Joseph's second on the board. He does. He comes in, does that.
Second kick, second goal.
Two straight 12s for Joey's. North Shore 2-1-13. 16 minutes played. First term, Geelong Bank, K-Rock. First quarter scoreboard.
They're doing a lot of work up the ground, St Joseph's forwards, but when the ball actually is coming into their forward half, they're actually resetting really quickly. So they're making the defenders actually work extra hard as to whether they're going to guard some space or whether they're going to go man on man. So the St Joseph's forward line's working really well together at the moment as a unit.
First quarter, thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. You can find them during Hap Street in Geelong, top of the hill. Back in the middle. And doing the ruck work this time is Cornelius against Northern, but the result the same, Northern winning the tap. Chance, so for Bellchambers, who gave up that 50-metre penalty, a handball on the bounce through traffic. Adams got a handball back towards a voice. But it's going to end up with Bell Chambers after Cornelius couldn't take it. Bangs it long, looking for a marking target. Tregenza couldn't hang on to it. Chance for St Joey's to clear. Hickey lost it in the tackle. Umpire said play on. O'Dwyer did well, put his head over the ball, but forced a spillage. Chance for Ted Castle. One way, then the next to the left foot kick. Didn't get into the air. Lane picked it up off his bootlaces. Quick snap and has pulled that out of bounds on the full. And it'll be a free kick for St Joseph's in the right back pocket. Cemetery into the ground, and their captain Al Hickey, who has had it on a string through the first 17.5 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock with the resultant free kick.
Goes towards half back. A big pack there. McLaughlin from the side. Umpire said play on. Ball spills free. Comes back for North Shore, and that's for Aaron Seller. He goes wide though with the kick and out of bounds on the full. So a bit more work for St Joey's defenders. And Al Hickey just getting some nice easy possessions here with the kicks out on the full.
15 already, I think.
Now they switch the ball, St Joey's, and go towards Oscar Morrison. He comes back into Hannessy. He got one high. Short little kick to him, and he's going to get up a bit ginger as well. And going to play on right in front of the scoreboard and go short. And just working the ball around the half back. Morrison followed up again in front of Lever, and he's taken the mark at left half back for St Joey's.
Oscar Morrison with the footy, former Geelong Falcon, when undrafted at the end of 21, goes short to Harrison Smith. He just has to hold for the moment. He swings onto his left boot, sends it towards left half forward, over the head of Grandy. Leonard judged it best, took a nice mark. A Hamlin hanger contender from the talented defender from North Shore. Got the headband on this afternoon as he goes short, and Milson took it on the half volley according to the umpire, and Grandy wrapped him up, and the umpire says, I'll take it, give it to me. And we'll get a ball up left half forward. So St Joey's made rare forays forward, but they've kicked 2 goals to trail by only a point. North Shore probably better of the possessions at the moment. Dibsdale doing the ruck work, won the tap down lever, a handball off. Quick clearing kick came from Jordan Purcell. It'll float towards the middle of the ground off the hands of the pack, taken nicely by O'Dwyer for St Joseph's, and he saw the lead come up. Dibsdale, in fact it was Kamarick who gave a handball off, and that Muhor lost it in the tackle, then got it back, and then a little 1 metre kick that was reaped away by Gerard, who kicked very, very wide. Looking out there for Milson, couldn't find him. James Hickey sold a teammate up the river, but it was Dibsdale. But now North Shore, I should say, through Hayes, will get a chance to go forward. It's actually going to come back, I think.
It is, and it's going to be a free kick just off the ball where Hayes kicked the footy from, and Jackson Smith, I think.
Actually beneficial because they were out a little bit there, up their forward half.
So the ball's going to come back from deep 50 of North Shore and come back to their centre half back position at the southern end of the ground. So Jackson Smith will time called on. He goes out wide towards centre wing, finds Adams, who's been influential in this first term already for North Shore on the wing. Called to play on now, drives it long towards inside 50, big pack there over the back, no mark, taken off hands, and was that a hold? The umpire said play on. The ball came around, Al Hickey goes back, he crunches into his brother, and they see it through for a rush behind. So
thought they were in the backyard.
Yeah, 2-2-14 North Shore, 2 straight 12 St Joey's, Geelong Bank K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
Joey's have got it to half back. It's in the hands of Mullen, who fires a handball wide to Harrison Smith. Smith shrugs off a would-be tackler in Adams. Handball over to set to Grandy a task, but got out of the tackle of Jordan Purcell. Kick inside 450. Northern back with the flight. Stonehouse did well at the front to knock it away. Provide a spillage. Here's Adams again. He's been outstanding. Kick to half back though wasn't great. And a good mark to Grandy flying over the top with a Hamlin hanger contender. And now that awkward kicking style, it went through the hands of Lewis, and Lewis might have just pinged a calf there, I reckon. Just as he went to take off, he dropped the mark. The kick was intended for his teammate in Kamarick, and he's okay now. Looks to a free. That might have just tightened on him for a moment.
Yeah. Didn't look good.
Northam doing the ruck work. Walmsley for North Shore. Northam brought to ground. Lever, a quick handball up to Harry Purcell to get North Shore out of trouble.
They go towards centre wing. Big pack there. Lane's handball forward to the ball. Tregenza wrapped up straight away. Not going anywhere. And the umpire will come in and ball up. Tackle came from Dibsdale there, the grammarian. And it will be a ball up centre wing.
For Geelong Sports Medicine Centre, Jane Birchall down boundary side. Just keep an eye on Hunter Lewis, whether there's any further issues for him.
I will. That's the last thing they need. Didn't they have 2 calves during the week or Thursday night? So
did.
It's catching.
Ball goes to half forward now for North Shore. Handball over the top. Milsom couldn't take it with him in the half forward position. Mullen puts a tackle on. Pack develops. Umpire will come in and ball it up.
It's usually the old man's injury, the calf.
Yeah, you know, start the hamstring and work your way down, don't you?
I do hamstring getting out of bed, calf getting in the shower.
Umpire puts it into the air. Miljevic to do the ruck work. Dibsdale might have gone back, but here's a chance for North Shore. Quick snap out of the pack from Hayden Burns. He's just pulled it too far. No, he's kicked it. He's kicked the goal. St Joey's players are arguing that was a behind, but Hayden Burns doesn't matter because he's just snapped a nice goal. He's got the third on the board for North Shore, and they take an 8-point buffer into this time on period of the opening term, thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. North Shore 3-2-20. St Joseph's 2 straight 12.
They're just getting more numbers around the ball. Fall of the ball in the air when they've got some run and carry. They've just got more numbers around the ball, and they're really making St Joseph's work to chase and try and retard their run and defend really hard. But it's too many numbers. They're outweighting them with numbers at the moment. And that's what's getting North Shore so many forward entries.
Dibsdale having a run on the ruck now, giving Northam a chop out for St Joey's up against Miljevic, who goes up. Dibsdale gets it down. Broke by Smith. Runs through the middle for St Joey's, goes deep and long towards De Grande, who put a hand up. Hayes was next to him. Rowe front and centre. McLaughlin wrapped up. Ball spills free. Northam off a step towards the goal square, and Leonard got back there, goalkeeper style for North Shore. In fact, he didn't take the mark, and it was through for one behind to St Joey's. So 2-1-13. They trail North Shore 3-2-20. Geelong Bank K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
Port Phillip Ferries time clock at 23 3/4 minutes. The only way to travel to the footy. Port Phillip Ferries. Leonard goes wide looking for Cleary. Spoiled away from him. De Grande had no room to work with for St Joseph's in the left forward pocket, and we'll get a boundary throw in. Eastern side of the ground. Good crowd in attendance to open season 2023 GFL style. Hope you're enjoying the call through KROC 955, KROCfootball.live and the AFL Barwon website. From the boundary throw in, tracking it to the boundary line and shoved over was Mullen. Will he get a free kick for a push? I reckon he will. His appeals didn't go unheeded. He's probably too far out to score. Man on the mark stands outside 50. It is a kick that he'll just set to the top of the goal square. De Grande, Northam off the hands of the pack. McLaughlin was ready to swoop, couldn't take it cleanly. He goes off the ground. I reckon that's off the ground from Northam, is it? And I reckon that's going to be. Oh, we've got a discussion. Well, there's no arc to go to.
we can decide over here.
So umpire Chris Jones having a chat with the goal umpire about what has taken place. He'll go back to the line and touched.
Wow.
Now, the central umpire had no idea, right? And then the goal umpire was going to call that a goal, and the only one remonstrating was North Shore player. So how did they get to that conclusion?
Carr plays on from fullback for North Shore, kicks it long and wide. Oh, good mark over the back.
Guess who?
Al Hickey. Seriously. He's got a disease. Nobody's going near him. His right foot kick back in towards Northam, who goes up, can't take the mark. McLaughlin at the back. Hayes for North Shore clears the kick, but only as far as Dibsdale, the grammarian at left half forward, wants to play on and drive it long. He's 55 out. He's wondering where.
Give it some air.
He's bought rain with that. De Grande in front, goes up, can't take the mark off hands. McLaughlin kick out wide. Hennessy tapped away. Antonak's got 5 metres. Oh, he got worried out of it though by Leonard. Then he left the ball, Leonard. He comes in. North Shore might be able to get through. Levers handball though, only as far as Muhor. Close to Hennessy, right in front of us. Oh, got one high and will get a free kick. Harry Purcell comes over and makes sure he felt it as well. Right in front of the best seats in the house, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7.
That is very John Oates.
He is too.
That Ollie Hennessy is with that moustache.
I like it.
Kick to the top of the square from Hall & Oates, for those who love their music. Quick clearing kick came from Jordan Purcell, dropping what he should have taken there with Ted Castle. It was, but Lever kept it alive. Handball back inside, wanting Ted Castle. Took it on the bounce, went with one hand and then left it behind. Chance now for St Joseph's. Buckley, good tackle. Bell Chambers brought him to ground, and that's holding the ball. Gee, that was hot.
He actually has. You can handball it, can't you, when you get tackled?
Yeah. So Bell Chambers with the resultant free kick goes short. Miljevic. Handball to the run of Ted Castle. Takes on the tackler and then didn't get past Muir.
He sold the candy too early, though.
He fended Kamarick, and then Xavier Muir said, "You are going nowhere." And now it's a 50-metre penalty against Ted Castle.
Yeah. He didn't see the other three.
He didn't on the other side.
Muir was the one that laid the tackle, but Kamarick's going to end up with the free kick, so I'm not sure how that's eventuated. No. And umpire Jack O'Neill has...
He's Jordan Kerris 2.0, isn't he?
He goes into the left forward pocket with a well-weighted kick, and he's found McComb, who marks 20 out from goal with not much of an angle, left forward pocket, and a chance to tie the score as we approach quarter time.
Good offensive slide run there from Finn. Just a good kick, though. Has to be precise.
Kamarick is a mixture of Riley Ferguson and Jordan Kerris.
He kicks the ball all right, I tell you.
He does.
Ben McComb with the footy, left forward pocket. 5 games, 5 goals last year in his debut season. A chance to make it 6 from 6. And he's pushed that across the face, and the margin is 5.
Fade.
First quarter, K-Rock, Geelong Bank scoreboard. St Joseph's 2-3-15. Trail North Shore 3-2-20.
So Leonard with the kicking duties for the Seagulls. Goes short into the back pocket. Carr takes the mark. Want to move it around the half back to Hayes. He goes over the top. Missed the target though. And Buckley goes short. Spears the pass Lewis, who's been influential in this first term. Left foot kick across towards Muir. Mitchell comes across the top of him, so they both go against each other. And then Muir dragged it in, then tried to get the handball away. Then the handball towards Lewis, coming the other way though. North Shore couldn't get it out. Lewis, he dropped the ball in the tackle as well. Pack develops about 35 out from the St Joey's goal, and we'll have a ball up. So just a couple of areas there from both teams. And they'll all draw in the end. We'll have a ball up.
By Jones to put it into the air. About 30 out from the St Joseph's goal. Northern to do the ruck work against Miljevic. Northern won the tap down. Chance now for Walmsley. Gave a handball on the up to Lever. Lever was able to burst away and kick wide. He was dumped after he kicked, and that's disappointing from de Grande because it was a 2-on-1 that St Joseph's would have won. Ted Castle wants to take on the man on the mark in Buckley. He kicks and he got a shove after kicking, but it doesn't matter. The mark was taken. And a chance to swing towards forward 50. It's Hayden Burns in the long sleeves looking for Lane. Couldn't mark on the lead. Harry Smith, or was it O'Dwyer? O'Dwyer, a handball back for Al Hickey, who's being worried out of it off the ground. It went with the little boot was Cornelius, but it's been rushed through for a behind. Diving to put it through for a minor score was James Hickey. And the margin is again a neat goal at 6 points. 3-3-21 plays 2-3-21. North Shore leading St Joseph's 29 and 40 played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy.
So Hickey kicks in as the siren sounds for quarter time. Entertaining first term here at Drew Oval. North Shore 3-3-21. They lead St Joey's 2-3-15.
Goal kickers Burns, Ted Castle and Adams for North Shore. Couple of first gamers there for the Seagulls, while for St Joseph's debutant Hunter Lewis, 2 kicks, 2 goals. And St Joseph's a 2-3-15. North Shore a 3-3-21. We'll take a break.
movement and their quick ball movement. So it's interesting to see how they go against the Breeze this quarter.
Matty Kershaw in the experts chair this afternoon as they've just broken from their huddle North Shore and heading back into position. St Joseph just held a little bit longer by Ron Watt, who first quarter back after 26 years out of the competition. When you say it like that...
Yeah, stop, please. Stop it.
Grand Final Day 1997 was the last time he was in charge of a GFL club.
Jeez.
And here he is this afternoon.
You're old, Kirsch.
I've got my VHS tape of when we won the flag in 1994 against St Mary's. Ron Watt was the expert comment on the video. Ronnie Brain on the video, yeah.
We might go down to Birchie because I think she might be just tapping into a little bit of that knowledge of Ron Watt right now. Birchie, what have you got for us as you head towards Ron Watt?
He's just spending a bit more time with Oscar Morrison here, so I'll grab him as he finishes that chat. We'll walk to the boundary.
The players just making their way into position, and Ron Watt's making his way towards the bench, and Birchie's making her way towards...
Hi, Ron. Thanks for joining us. Just a quick, what's your take on that first quarter? Obviously, there was a bit of a sorting out phase there and people getting organised. What were your thoughts?
Well, North Shore were very good. They brought a really intense pressure game, which was fantastic. Good for us to have a challenge. They used the ball particularly well, and their method around the contest was great. So we found a little bit wanting with our method. So we've got to be a bit smarter, a little bit harder to play against, and move the ball a fraction quicker.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. Good luck.
Ron Watt down boundary side there, joining us thanks to Warralilly.
Couple of moves. McLaughlin gone out to a wing from the forward pocket, so they're trying to get some run on the outside early.
We've been told that it's Cameroon, not Camerick. Is the what we've been...
It's what?
Cameroon. Yes, is what we've just been... Well, we've had somebody drop by the box, write a note, and so I've got Camerick on the
HQ, play HQ, yeah.
So
Cameroon.
Yeah, so
must be
we'll just go with variations of, and
we'll just call him Ben.
BK at the moment.
BK.
We'll sort that out.
Second quarter
at the minute.
Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Here's Jason Doherty.
Dibsdale in the ruck for St Joey's got it down. Gerard, he got one. Jack Mullen just went straight for the red hair rather than the footy. He thought it was the football, I think, the Sharon. And Gerard at the back end of the centre square drives it towards half forward. Lever goes up. Oh, good mark at the back. Great mark coming out one hand. Oscar Hocking and Hamlin hanging contender for St Joey's there. Over the head of Hennessy. Leonard off a step for North Shore. Kick around the corner. Lever left it behind Hocking again. Does well. Left foot kick was smothered. Comes back towards Lever a third time. Handball back towards Antonak for St Joey's. Over the top of it. He can't pick it up. And the umpire says play on. Bellchambers there with him as well. And we'll have a ball up. Centre wing on the outer side. Bathed in sunshine, drew over this afternoon. This clash St Joey's and North Shore.
Dibsdale, while Northam's being tended to doing the ruck work. He won the tap towards the boundary line. Walmsley on hands and knees for North Shore, trying to get it up to Lever. McLaughlin coming away for the other way because St Joseph's knocked it away towards Antonak, and he and Bellchambers in a wrestle. I wouldn't want to be getting in a wrestle with Phil Bellchambers. This will be the only game he plays this year, we believe, for North Shore.
Yeah.
We'll go back to Lauderdale in the Tassie State League next year, so we won't have a third full season. Is that a push in the back on Mullen? Umpire said no. Wormsley did well. Got a handball up to Bellchambers. He lost it in a tackle, and that was a good tackle too by Antonak. And he wins a free kick at half back. Louis Antonak, right half back with the footy. As spectators on that side of the ground shield their eyes from the sun. Sends a high ball towards right half forward to Grandy. His target carried him. Chance at the front for Hunter Lewis. He was slung in the tackle as he got a handball away. Leonard over it, wrapped up in a tackle by Muhor and going nowhere. And at left half back, a ball up. North Shore defending. They lead though, 3-3-21. St Joseph's 2-3-15. 2 minutes played. Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Dibsdale gets the ruck contest down. And coming across, that was a good tackle from Henderson for St Joey's. Muhor does well, collects the footy. McLaughlin ran past it, couldn't pick it up. Leonard put a tackle on him. And Walmsley comes across with a tackle for North Shore as well. And that was on Louis Antonak, not going anywhere. So we'll have a ball up just inside the centre square at half forward for St Joey's. Dibsdale got it down and do his own roving work, got a second tap to it. Lewis, he couldn't take it, puts a tackle on Leonard, and real scrum-like, and holding the ball, said the umpire. So he said Leonard Dragged it back in, so Lewis will take the free kick at centre-half forward for St Joey's.
2 goals in the opening quarter from the debutant. A high kick, right forward pocket. Cal Mitchell, his target. No, Morrison, in fact. What's Morrison doing down there for Wombat Gully Plant Farm?
They've made that move. That's what I reckon Ron Watt was talking to him about at quarter time. We're going to put you forward. We're trying to get you and Mitchell into the game. And, that's the kick. If you can get it on top of his head, he's a big unit, Oscar Morrison. Just get it on top of his head in a bit of space. It was a pretty clever click in the end.
6 goals last year from his 15 appearances. He started the year at Port Melbourne and then was surplus to requirements at the Borough. Finds himself on Geelong's VFL list. And this to tie the scores, and that's a shank if ever I've seen one. He's mishit that off the toe. He's pushed it across the face, went through the arms of De Grande, and is through for a minor score, and the margin is 5. 2-4-16, playing 3-3-21, second quarter K-Rock football, thanks to Harvey Norman.
It was a backman going forward kick, Kingy.
Kick in to Jordan Purcell, gives it back to Adams, back to Purcell, off a step, has to drive it long towards centre-half back. Numbers there. Dibsdale couldn't take it for St Joey's. North Shore on hands and knees. Langan was over the top of it. Muhor came in as well for St Joey's. Umpire Jones will come in and ball it up at centre-half forward for the home side. So, into attack. Done mostly attacking this first 4 minutes of this second term. Dibsdale got it down. Harry Smith through the middle. Lever wrapped him up. And the umpire, holding the ball. They're hot. They're very hot. Free kick, Noah Lever, centre-half back for North Shore.
Lever has been really impressive and obviously trying to fight his way back into the Werribee side. Although they're not playing this weekend, so he's probably not really out of it. He's been sent back, or being given clearance to play. Hayes' kick was poor. Good spoil from Antonak just to open the door up for Smith, who gave it to Muhor for St Joseph's, and all alone was De Grande. And just that poor skill execution from Hayes has opened the door here for De Grande. That awkward kicking style, that awkward drop, and he's seen an open goal and he's kicked it.
Nice.
He was well aware, it was a good heads-up play from De Grande, that he saw the vacant goal square, so he just kicked it in that direction and allowed the bounce to take it through. And St Joey's lead for the first time this afternoon. They're 3-4-22. North Shore are 3-3-21. 5 minutes gone in this second quarter of K-Rock football. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Berchie, can you let us know what you think Ollie Northam looks like now?
Well, it looks like a Joel Selwood gone wrong, because it's going around and under his chin.
He's got the wild man of Borneo hair.
Not around his around his head, but under his chin. So I just noticed that he looks like he's had a jumper change as well. So a bit of claret maybe coming out.
Yep, wearing number 5 now, Ollie Northam. You're not going to miss him. He's in the ruck and he goes up and he probably gets a free kick, I suspect. And he's got the big strapping around the chin and around the head. He looks like the mummy. And he's got a free kick wearing the number 5 now. He, in fact, handballs it away to Mullen. Off a step. Inside 50. Hannessy waited for De Grande to come to the front for St Joey's and then does the roving work. Hayes put the tackle on. He got it away quickly to Owen. Ran out of room in the phone box in front of the scoreboard. Couldn't go anywhere. He's out of bounds, so we'll have a boundary throwing right half forward for Joey's.
Usually the blood jumper is a lot higher than what you're wearing.
87 or something.
He's gone from 53 back to 5.
Well, it was his Falcons number, so maybe he wanted to keep the 53
yes,
number.
That's right.
So.
Boundary throwing chance here for Mullen, jamming it on the boot. Wonderful.
Look at him.
The celebration from Jack Mullen. Isn't he happy with it? As he kicks a contender for the Lammy's Tavern goal of the day. Pounced on the loose ball, threw it on the boot, and not unlike his little celebration at South Barwon on Anzac Day a couple of years ago. And Joey's goes 7 points to the good. 4-4-28, playing 3-3-21. 6.5 minutes gone in this second quarter of K-Rock football. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Corio and Warn Ponds.
Well, we haven't had a celebrator of a goal out at Drew Reserve since Joey McCula. It runs to be Super Joe's days, really. Stuffer loves it.
So back to the middle. Northam goes up, gets it down. Muhor in the middle. Needs some support. Cameron gets wrapped up by Lever. The umpire says holding the ball. Well, they're being consistent. And Lever takes the free kick. Drives it inside 50. Lane goes there. Oh, good block. Well done in front of Reach. O'Dwyer, fantastic reach, and just held O'Dwyer to the right side to be able to take the mark, and we'll shoot the goal from 50 out.
He's that close to us, Jace. We are only about 10. He's a big unit.
He's a big unit. Can he back up the mark with the kick?
Well, not from his last couple of kicks.
No. He's 50 out. Right in front of the best seats in the house, thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Jordan Lane, we're going to get a great look at this. Joel O'Dwyer standing right in front of us on the mark. He comes in just inside 50.
Oh, it's a shank.
And he has shanked that That is out of bounds on the full. So that's he looked for yardage and didn't get the accuracy that's out of bounds.
He kicked 43 goals last year. 43-95.
Yeah. Buckley goes across the face of his defensive goal for St Joseph's, and McComb is the marking target, and he stretches and marks just inside the right back pocket.
Jace, you know I like my out of bounds on the full statistics, and we're up to 5 already.
Oh, jeez.
Kick to the wing, and Morrison on the juggle has taken a good mark. So this move to send Morrison forward is so far working in terms of providing a target. He's confronted by the man on the mark, Jordan Purcell, who gets a tackle on, but the handball finds McComb, who goes short to Muhor. And it's Xavier Muhor with the footy. In fact, it's Jordan. Xavier's no longer here.
Amos?
At Amos. So I see Riley Kershaw just stealing blokes. Jack Buckley with a long bomb to the goal square. But the Grandy back with the flight. There should be a free kick for pushing the back gunner Milsom, who got a shove there from Henderson, I think. 50. And a 50-metre penalty as well. So just to ease some of the pressure on North Shore, they've really been under attack in this opening 9 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock, Kirsch, in this second quarter.
They have. They've had a lot of repeat entries at the moment, St Joseph's, which Ron will be absolutely thrilled with, but they just hit the scoreboard a bit more.
Leonard's kick wasn't to anybody in particular for North Shore, so the ball's going to come back through.
That's a great kick.
Henderson, inside 50 for St Joseph's, all handball backwards. And kick around the corner from Salah was okay. And finds Milsom in between the back pocket and half back in front of the Alan Russell Pavilion. He's going to drive it down the line. Does so now. Wants Lane, who goes up. Got a hand to it. Couldn't quite take the mark. Lever off the side. And coming in, Bell Chambers. And he and Lever wrap up Muhor. And we're going to have a ball up right on centre wing. It's 4-4-28 St Joey's. North Shore 3-3-21. And we've played nearly 10 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Lane doing the ruck work. Won the tap down. Harrison Smith, the roving for St Joseph's. A handball back to Cameron. Cameron, a handball that just was out of the reach of Tanner Owen. And it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Almost a true centre wing right under the nose of Jane Birch, who's boundary side for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Brought her own little deck chair as well. I thought, although if you put the deck chair away, Birchie.
Yeah, no, the deck chair's not out today. I thought I won't unleash that round one. That might look a bit lazy.
Cameron did the roving, gave a handball to Jack Buckley, a high right foot kick into the left forward pocket off the hands of the pack, taken by Mullen, finds some room where there was none, pushes the kick wide looking for Morrison. Good spoil came from Salah. Salah was wrapped up in a tackle after he took possession of the footy, and we'll get a ball up in the right forward pocket. I haven't seen a lot of Cal Mitchell.
No, I was about to say the same thing, Kingy.
Can you just keep an eye on Cal Mitchell's movements for us, Birchie? I don't think he's out there, just not sure whether the...
He's actually, yes, I just looked down there as you said that because I noticed him come off before and he was just doing some circles with his ankle, so perhaps a little roll to that. But he's coming up now that we speak. Right. He's coming up to the interchange, so it looks like he's going to come back on.
All right, thank you, Jane Birch, down boundary side. Injury updates for St John of God. And we'll get a ball up in the right forward pocket from a stoppage. Lane doing the ruck work, tried to tap it towards Hayes, didn't get to where it was intended. Milsom had a fumble, time to recover, a handball to Wormsley. Wormsley off the outside of the right boot, the kick that's going to fall back into the waiting arms of Tanner Owen, who has a flying shot but has missed to the left for St Joseph's. And it's through for a minor score. 4-5-29 St Joey's. North Shore 3-3-21, 11 and a half minutes almost ticked over on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy.
Seagulls to bring it back in. Salah going to come towards the half-back position for Lane to take the mark. Northern punched it on, falls into the arms of Owen again. He looked at the goals, then saw Hunter Lewis out of the corner of his eye in the left forward pocket, and he took the mark and will shoot for goal from about 25-30 out. Pretty cute angle.
Tough kick for a left footer.
And guys, with the win, this is a tough kick because it's pushing all the kicks across to that side that he's on. So it will be tricky. You'll have to aim out to that right hand goal post.
Yep. He's going to kick this. He comes in, left foot kick. He kicked many of them at training, and he should be off the ground for that. That's terrible. 2-1. And Boof, if you're listening, what are you doing?
His old man would have kicked it.
Yeah, his old man would have kicked it. His old man would have told the gallery there too in front. 4-6-30 St Joey's, North Shore 3-3-21. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, second quarter scoreboard.
Leonard with a short kick in to Gerard, who we haven't called a lot of in this second quarter, if at all. started brightly, the left footer, and he's kicked it straight into the man on the mark, and that's ricocheted off Jordan Newhaw and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in in front of the Alan Russell Pavilion. So just a lazy exit there from North Shore, and they actually find themselves now hemmed into their defence. Boundary throw-in is a shallow one, lane on the tap down, but the roving by Cameron, flying shot at goal is just to the left and through for a minor score. So they are peppering here St Joseph's. They now have a 10-point margin. They did trail by 13 points early in the first quarter. 4-7-31 they are now. North Shore 3-3-21, 13 and a half minutes played.
Cleary kicks it in this time for North Shore, goes out wider looking for Lane, who goes up, takes the mark in front of Northam at half back. So the big fella, as the ball in hand, drives it long over the back, going up. Oh, nearly a good mark. That came from Chaplin for St Joey's. Just a couple of feet there, Gerard, and also Hickey, and it's out of bounds for a throw-in. Just forward to centre wing, only half forward for North Shore. Not many forward forays in this second term for the Seagulls.
Just the two inside 50s, Jace.
Yep, so Lane, short boundary throw in, and Morrison got there first. Mullen got a hand to it, might be able to track it as well, and then gets wrapped up, ball spills free. North Shore fighting hard for it on hands and knees. The umpire, he's going to come in and ball it up, so we'll have a reset. 4-7-31 St Joey's, North Shore 3-3-21, and we have played 14 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this second term.
2 goals, 4-0 score in this second quarter so far. Play on advantage from the ruck contest after a high tackle against Lane. It was sent along by Cameron towards the left forward pocket, and Paddy Cleary can only see it out of bounds for North Shore, and another stoppage in that left forward pocket. What have North Shore got to do to get themselves out of what's a little funk at the moment, Kirsch?
What they were doing in the first quarter, get their hands on it, get some numbers around the ball and run and carry. They've really just got to break the lines, and they're not doing that at all at the moment. They're really stagnant around the stoppages, and they're really stagnant with their ball movement.
Here's a chance for St Joey's. Hannessy, Mewhaw, left footer, left forward pocket, tough kick across the face. He's kicked it.
That's a
He's
goal.
been able to sneak it into the right-hand goal post, and he's kicked an absolute cracker, Jordan Mewhaw. That is a Lammy's Tavern goal of the day contender. Lammy's open Friday to Sunday with happy hour and free entry before 10 p.m. And St Joseph's go to 5-7-37. North Shore a 3-3-21. 15 minutes gone in this second quarter. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Oh, that was a kick you were looking for, Birchie. That one before with Hunter Lewis. Just let it out there, draw us, and let the wind bring it back in. And that was a perfect kick.
Yeah, I'm just sorry, I was distracted. I was just catching up with Hunter Lewis's sister on the boundary here. So a bit of a link there, getting some information.
Back to the middle, Lane in the ruck against Morrison now for St Joey's, who got it down. Cameron burns some fuel in the middle and goes with the right foot kick towards the pocket. Mark taken. And a good kick too out in front. Not much that Salah could do in the end, and Hannessy put the hands up, and Hall and Oates, if you don't mind, has taken the mark and will shoot for goal from 35 out, 45-degree angle.
He's really, Ben Cameron's really taken this game by the scruff of the neck.
As
Zach Adams in the first quarter, the newbies, and BK stepped up this quarter.
BK. So Ollie Hannessy hasn't troubled the scorers yet this afternoon. Northern end of the ground, 35 out, off only a couple of steps, and he has missed, and that's probably why. A couple of steps, one behind.
They've wasted a few opportunities this quarter, St Joseph's. They probably should be a couple more up.
5-8, so they've kicked this quarter 3-5. 5-8-38, North Shore 3-3-21. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, second quarter scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all your big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Leonard just directing traffic with the kick in. He runs out of his defensive goal square, sends it towards broadcast side. His target there is Hayes. He couldn't complete the mark. Front of the pack, Miljevic. And it's through hands. It's trying to get to Gerard, but it's going to spill out the back. Here's Hannessy. Quick handball release on the bounce. There's Mitchell back out in the ground. Gave it to Mullen. Mullen will snap, and Mullen will kick the goal. He's pretty happy with it again too, Jack Mullen. He's got his second, and the margin is now pushed out to 23 points. 6-8-44 now, St Joseph's. They lead at 3-3-21. as they've kicked 4 goals to nothing in this second quarter, thanks to Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds Furniture, Electrical, Computers and Bedding. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
The early part of this first quarter, they were sort of getting repeat entries with no reward. Now they're just getting opportunity after opportunity to hit the scoreboard, and the pressure from North Shore is non-existent at the moment in that back half. So they've really got to knuckle down and get defensive on every player, every aspect of their game, because St Joseph's is doing what they want at will at the moment.
So back to the middle. Neither ruckman can get an effective tap out of the ruck contest. Ball spills to Lever, shuffles the handball out the back. Adams runs away from goal and across half back, goes towards centre wing. McLaughlin couldn't take it for St Joseph's. Leonard stands over the top, played for a free kick, didn't get it. Antonak turns around, right foot kick to half forward. McCoo goes up. In fact, it was Mitchell who went up and took the mark and played on quickly. Cross half forward, pushed the ball out wide. Nobody really there for St Joey's. It was McComb who came in at the end. Now the handball over the top to Purcell. Harry drags the ball back. Handball over the back towards Harry Purcell. He's got 3 against him. Mullen was one of them. Hannessy was the other. Ball up in the air. Mitchell to go up, no 15 there. Oh, DeGrande marked his own ball. Gerard in the end for North Shore is going to be able to break free, goes wide. But it's all St Joey's around the ball though. Harrison Smith close to the ball, close to the boundary line. He kept it in the end. Left foot kick, spears it over the head of Mitchell, and the ball still in the hands of DeGrande. Turns around the corner, high kick into the 10-metre square. Is that a free kick? Umpire says
yep,
it is.
To them.
And North Shore
yep,
will take a free kick. Zach Adams in the last line of defence for the Seagulls.
Haven't called a lot of his name in this second quarter, Zach Adams, just not the run there that he provided in the opening term. Adams takes off into his defensive goal square and sends it towards the outer side of the ground. He's put it out on the full. He was looking for Lane, he's hit it too far, and Harrison Smith for St Joseph's with the resultant free kick sends a low ball under the chest of DeGrande, who marks. Has taken it about 30 out from goal, right of the corridor in front of Hayes. And he'll have a shot on a 29-point St Joseph's lead. Now, this is something during the first quarter we probably wouldn't have anticipated, Kirsch, that Joey's would pull away like this. North Shore were really taking the game up to them, and as I said, led by as much as 13 points in that first quarter.
Well, the game feels like there's a 10-goal breeze going down to that end. It really does. It looks like St Joseph's had to work really hard to get the ball up this end, and now North Shore are doing the same. So it comes down to work rate, really, and they've dropped right away, North Shore.
Kicked one already to Grandy, and he's pushed that one badly across the face. He's put it out on the full, in fact. It is an awkward drop he has with that kicking style, and the free kick will be taken in the back pocket. It might be Leonard who's got it in his hands.
It's a 7th one, Jace.
Yes, 7 already. And the ball goes to Milsom at half-back for North Shore. So they've worked it around the boundary, the Seagulls. And now Milsom goes long towards half-forward. Hocking in towards centre wing. Hocking for St Joey's. Dragged it back in. And then the ball spills to Leonard again, who followed it up close to the boundary line. And we will have a ball up.
Guys, just on that breeze, it does, when it springs up, it does have probably a couple of goals in it, but certainly not what we've seen here from St Joseph's, but there is an advantage to that side for sure.
Northern and Lever now got one high, said the umpire. So Noah Lever, who's been North Shore's biggest possession getter so far, will take the free kick on centre wing. Called to play on now. So drives it long towards the best seats in the house thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Lane goes up, got one high anyway. Oh, and Northern kicked it away and had a long time. Well, he's very lucky there.
He was very lucky.
He's had more bandages put on that head of his. He's got a little bit, he's like a fashion model there now with a big mulwar out the back and a little bit of hair in the middle. But Lane's got it 55 out. Come in, drive it long to the top of the square. Northam's going to be there with a couple of others as well. The big pack develops off the side of the pack. Smith got pushed past it, and St Joey's happy to see it through for a rush behind. So they go to 3-4-22 now, North Shore. Trail St Joey's 6-8-44. Harvey Norman, K-Rock. Second quarter scoreboard.
Took 21 3/4 minutes, their first score on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. North Shore, they're 3-4-22 now. They're half of St Joseph 6-8-44. half back, or Smith stepped around Lane, broke his ankles, and then kicks towards left half forward to Hannessy, who marks it in stride, runs away from Jordan Purcell, and then drives a long ball into the path of Mitchell. Mitchell trying to tap it back to Henderson. Henderson can stroll into open goal as he split two would-be tacklers in Cleary and Harry Purcell, and the margin is now out to 28 points. 7-8-50 St Joseph's. They've kicked 5 in this second quarter, and North Shore are 3-4-22 on this K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Well, it's like Ronnie Watts spoke to them at that quarter-time break and said, this is where we're falling down. They're beating us around the ball. They're beating us around the stoppages. They're beating us at contests. They're beating us in the air. They're beating us with their ball movement. And they've flipped it on their head. They've responded well to what was said at quarter time, and they've come out and they're the ones who are doing all the running and carrying, and their ball movement. That was sublime, that ball movement then. That's the St Joseph's of old, and a nice easy goal in the end of the passage.
So back to the middle, ruck contest. Northam goes up, or got one high from Miljevic. Umpire says play on. Al Hickey over the top of it. Lever's there as well. Ball spills free, comes out. McComb over the top, Lewis as well, push past it, needs to get it out, he does. Kick off the ground, was okay from Buckley, back towards Northam, followed up with Buckley as well. Now the ball spills free to Wormsley, he gets wrapped up quickly in the tackle, and third time Buckley got it out by hand to McLaughlin, right foot kick, could have sprayed it, didn't, and went to DeGrande, great kick, and had a chance there to go long, but just looked up and lowered his eyes to Paddy DeGrande, who will shoot for goal from 30 metres out directly in front.
He's got the kicking yips at the moment. He's got the Jordan Lanes Paddy DeGrande at the moment, so he needs this one just to calm his nerves a little bit.
He's kicked one this afternoon already and has had a good start to this game at centre half forward for the home side. He comes in northern end of the ground to make the margin 34. That's a better kick, straight over the umpire's head, so he kicks his second of the afternoon, and the 8th for St Joey's 8-8-56. They lead North Shore 3-4-22. Harvey Norman K-Rock second quarter scoreboard. Harvey Norman, think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Again, they won the ball at that contest, got numbers out, forward of the ball. McLaughlin, like you said, kid in the side, first game, lowered his eyes, terrific. But what I did notice about that stoppage was North Shore, instead of trying to win the contest or win the ball, they were actually trying to play for free kicks, and they weren't doing that in the first quarter. So they've gone to an area where they're just trying to get the easy ball at the moment rather than working hard.
Northern winning the tap this time, and well picked up by Antonak, slung in the bell chambers. Tackle impacted the handball. Burns, the handball back, quick kick forward into the path of Wormsley, gave it up to his former Anarchy teammate in Gerard. Gerard, a handball over the top to Carr. Lane, that's better. And Lane has marked the Carr kick and just needs to go back and kick the goal. Just they need something here, North Shore. They need some momentum going into half-time because they've been blown off the park in this second quarter of action.
What we've seen, this could go anywhere.
Yeah. He sort of needs to be 20 out, doesn't he, really?
Yeah, just
directly in front.
Left-hand goalpost will be his friend, you would suspect. Left-hand goalpost with this breeze, a little sou'easter. Down on the mark, stands about 40 from goal, and Lane comes in, kicks very close to the man on the mark, but he's delivered. That's a beautiful kick.
That was a beautiful kick. Where's that been?
And he puts one through for North Shore and kicks their first goal in more than half an hour. They go to 4-4-28. St Joseph's are 8-8-56. 26 minutes almost played in this second quarter of K-Rock football. Harvey Norman scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Well, it's an easy game when the opposition don't touch it, Jason. That's what happened, that passage of play there. 3 possessions into your tall marking forward. And Joel O'Dwyer doesn't get beaten that often, and he's a monster of a bloke. When you're playing a couple of feet short on your opponent, it's hard to stop, and I see they've made that change. But I know they haven't. They've switched back over. But yeah, so great play by North Shore back in the game.
Northam got it down. Wormsley wrapped up by Antonak from St Joey's. Handball. Now Northam followed it up. Gives it away to Hannessy. Oh, got one high too. The umpire saw that first. And that came from Ted Castle, who put the high tackle on. Hennessy plays on, goes long to the top of the... Oh, in fact, he's kicked it with the breeze and it's gone through, but has missed and through for one behind. He's second of the afternoon, so they go to 8-9-57 now, St Joey's. North Shore 4-4-28. Harvey Norman K-Rock, second quarter scoreboard.
Hayes to bring the ball back into play. Drives it towards right half back. Lane is his target. O'Dwyer in front of him brought it to ground to see it out of play, and we'll get a boundary throw in. A handy buffer for St Joseph's. They've really... It's a 42-point turnaround from where they trailed 13 points. They now lead by 29. Find themselves with a nice little advantage. Northern from behind winning the tap, and Miljevic will actually find the ball spilling back to him. Gave it to Bell Chambers. He tried to give a handball out the side door. Chance now to run. The handball they missed Carr, and it's taken by Hickey. Hickey lowered the vision. McLaughlin is marked. It was Ted Castle who turned it over. And it's opened the door for the youngster McLaughlin on debut.
Won't miss.
To hammer home the advantage.
Wow.
Kicked 26 goals from 19 games in the under-18s last year, helping St Joey's to the Division 1 Colts Grand Final. Unfortunately fell to Newtown and Chilwell that morning at St Albans Reserve. Right-hand goalpost is his friend, you would suspect, with this breeze. Max McLaughlin wearing the number 2, starts it right, swings it back. Will it have the carry? It will, but he's missed to the left. And the margin is 30, and Matt Kershaw knows nothing about the blokes he used to coach. 8-10-58 St Joseph's, North Shore 4-4-28. 28 minutes ticked over on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
My hat.
Hayes plays on and kicks it in for North Shore. Goes towards Leonard, who takes the mark. The two number 5s going at Leonard and Northam. And Leonard takes the mark at half back for the Seagulls. You got Smith long. He just chips it towards him. He's going to be outnumbered here. And going up, O'Dwyer. And way too tall. Took the mark easily in the end. In between half back and centre wing for St Joey's. Drives it long towards half forward. De Grande goes up, gets a push. The umpire said play on Adams. Did he run out of room? I think he did. In fact, he was out of bounds. And we'll have a boundary throw in half forward for St Joey's.
Lane's gone off for a spell, so O'Dwyer thought, well, I might as well try and grab a mark while he's not around me.
Ball back into play. Miljevic front position, won the tap down against Northern. Rolling ball, attacked by Mullen. He's attacked by Gerard and dragged to ground. Forced to spillage. Lever involved. Gave a handball off. Clearing kick came from Hayden Burns towards the wing. There's two St Joseph's players queuing up to mark that. And one of those taking it is well done by Hocking. He gave a handball off to Buckley. Buckley drives it towards left half forward for St Joey's. De Grande flying Salah for company. Helped bring it to ground. Leonard to clear. Runs into Northern and then gave a handball to Gerard. Sold him up the river. Gave a handball to Miljevic. Lost him in the tackle. And diving on the loose footy is Lewis. The umpire says, give it to me. Yeah, you take the tackle on and you lose it like that. Yeah. Surely you've got to be pinged, and he wasn't. And we'll get a ball up about 65 from the St Joseph's goal. They lead by 30.
So Northam. Miljevic got it down. Bell Chambers on the outside, left-hand handball. Set a target for a couple of teammates there. One of them was Burns. He got wrapped up straight away in the tackle on centre wing. Not going anywhere. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. 30 played. Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this second term, so close to half time. Gerard from the ruck contest. The handball was chopped off. Cameron goes with the right foot kick towards the half forward flank. McLaughlin comes out at pace but couldn't keep it in, and we'll have another boundary throw in left half forward as the siren sounds for half time here at Drew Oval, and it's St Joseph's in control. 8-10-58 they lead North Shore 4-4-28.
6-7 they kicked to 1-1 to turn a 6-point deficit into a 30-point advantage at the main break. It is half-time here at Drew Oval. Thanks to Garmy. Gimme Garmy, Warn Ponds, chicken and beer. That's unmissable. Jane Birch is heading out onto the ground to see who she might grab, maybe from a St Joseph's perspective, for a chat before they head into the rooms. Birchie, are you able to yank one of the players away from the huddle and get a quick couple of words before they head to the rooms?
Harrison Smith here.
All right, we're going to have a chat to Harrison Smith. Birchie, down to you once you get the 34 in your sights and in your grasp.
couple of questions?
Yeah, sure.
Harrison, thanks for joining us. That first quarter was a bit of a sort of sorting out phase there, but so I heard Ron saying you guys at the quarter time break just to relax, enjoy the footy a bit more and use the footy a little bit better going inside forward 50, and you certainly came out and did that.
Yeah, I think early on the guys were pretty spent. Credit to North Shore, early on they brought the heat, and it took us probably 10 minutes in that first quarter to settle. We were a lot happier with that second quarter. We were setting up behind the footy a lot better, and yeah, we were playing on our terms, so it was good.
And how are you finding the conditions out here? Like in the commentary box, they said you came out and it was like a 10-goal breeze. There is a bit of a
Rio and Warn Ponds.
Gimme gummy, if the spot with beer and chicken, never know till you try sweet combinations from Korea.
Fresh, fast, and made to order. Now try Gummy Chicken's delicious light options, including the new bibimbap bowls.
Chicken unmissable, chicken with wing, chicken is king, chicken with sing is a visceral thing. The unmissable chicken.
Gummy Warn Ponds, chicken and beer that's unmissable.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Half-time nearly at its conclusion. Thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer. Gimme, Garmy Warn Ponds Chicken and Beer that's unmissable. Head-to-head Geelong Insurance Brokers recruits versus recruits.
Wow.
Who's having the impact here?
It's been 2 quarters, hasn't it? It's been the tale of 2 quarters because I thought North Shore's recruits in the first quarter were really good, but step up a couple of them, didn't they? Hunter Lewis and Camrick. Benny Camrick is absolutely ripping the game apart. So I'd say that the North Shore first yearers have got their noses in front at the moment, but another half to go, and we'll see how North Shore can respond to that first half.
Thank you to everybody who's fed us today. APCO Cafe 24/7 with plenty of food. Have really looked after us, including the chimichanga jaffle, absolutely outstanding. Chicken, salsa, refried beans, and the cheese, magnificent. And of course, Frankie Iannuzzi, the mobile pizzeria, just dropped one by. So thank you to you, Frankie. Third quarter for Geelong Bank about to get underway. Just waiting for the last of the crowd to clear. And of course, Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. GeelongBank.com.au, and to get us underway, here's Jace.
So Ollie Northam in the ruck gets it down and does his own roving work and gets wrapped up by Miljevic straight away and dropped the footy. That should be holding the ball. The umpire said play on. Wormsley got it out for North Shore. Deep inside 50. But Smith goes back and takes the mark for St Joey's. Goes out wide. Finn McComb has had a good game so far. Takes the mark in front of the scoreboard.
He sends it towards half back, stretching and marking. That's a good grab by Lane. We didn't call, by Adams. We didn't call a lot of him in that second quarter, and there's a bit going on there between him and Northam. He's just a little bit slow to get to his feet. Here's Zach Adams. He now has picked himself up and dusted himself off. A long way from home, though. You would suspect distance would be beyond him, so he's just going to have to set it up to about 25 out from goal. Laney's target, couldn't hang on to it. Brought it to ground, front of the pack. Chance for Carr. He couldn't take it cleanly. Trying to burst his way through for North Shore. That might be at the bottom of that pack. Is that Purcell or is that Carr? It's Carr at the bottom of the pack. He can't knock it out. Umpire says that'll be holding the ball, I suspect.
They stood around for a bit, didn't they, with their arms out, the players?
Mullen takes the resultant free kick, goes laterally to James Hickey for St Joey's, who kicks to his brother Al, and the skipper of St Joseph's has got it just inside defensive 50.
So Hickey going left, going right, coming towards centre wing with the kick. Hennessy out in front. Oh, diving catch at second slip, dropped it. And now Purcell gives it away to Gerard by hand. He gives it towards Bell Chambers, the don't argue. Got the hairball away to Hayes for North Shore. Kick was smothered. McLaughlin's little kick only as far, though, as Miljevic, who takes it and drives the ball back inside to the lever. Right in the middle of Drew Oval. Now he drives. Oh, terrible kick off the boot. And it's all St Joey's coming the other way. They come back. Camrick takes the mark at half back. So round and round North Shore there. And St Joey's can drive it towards Hennessy again. Gerard, though, gets back, does well on centre wing and takes the mark.
Oh, it's a good mark by Gerard going back in a one-on-one against Hennessy. Lane just telling him to kick into the left forward pocket. Instead, he sets it a little bit shorter, and the mark's taken by Wormsley, and a couple of former Anarchy boys link up. Sending it long now, Wormsley to the goal square. Kari's target went through the arms of Al Hickey. Chance for Tregenza. Dumped as he went to kick, but I reckon Carr might have gone off the ground and got a much-needed one for North Shore. Margin is back to 24. They needed that first goal and they got it. 5-4-34 they moved to. St Joseph's 8-10-58. Third quarter of K-Rock football. Thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan. 1% less for 2 years.
Well, we spoke about repeat entry in that second quarter for St Joseph's, and North Shore just started with 3 repeat entries and got some reward for their repeat entries. So that scoreboard pressure, getting the ball in there with that breeze, time in forward half, and North Shore enjoying that in the first couple of minutes.
So back to the middle again for Northam and Miljevic, who go up. Neither really get a tap, but then Northam got it away again to Lever, who's been influential. Gets a kick with the outside of the right boot towards left half forward. Buckley leads in the race to the footy. In fact, it's O'Dwyer who led for the football there and ran out of room. Right behind him was Tregenza, and we'll have a boundary throw in left half forward for the Seagulls.
Get back-to-back goals. Tap down Northam for St Joseph's. Bell Chambers loitering but couldn't get his hands on the footy. Lever might be at the bottom of that pack. And we'll get a stoppage and a ball up. About 45 out from the North Shore goal, attacking the cemetery or northern end in this third quarter. Thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. Check out geelongbank.com.au. Tap down Miljevic, roving Northam. That's an unlikely rover. And wrapped up by Miljevic and going nowhere, and we'll get another stoppage. So just a bit of a lull in play for the moment. Tap down Miljevic, and good work use of the body lever. Got Camerick off the footy, but he couldn't take it himself, and O'Dwyer got in the way for St Joseph's, and now Mullen. And Mullen goes through the gap in the fence, finds himself about 3 foot from the bar, and a boundary throw-in. So left forward pocket. And the real hush has just descended over Drew Oval. Northam, front position, won the tap down. Tried to do his own roving. In fact, getting in the way was Antonak. Now a chance for North Shore. The kick of Jordan Purcell partially smothered. Fell for James Hickey, who releases a handball to Hunter Lewis. And Lewis can send it wide looking for Morrison.
He goes to Morrison now, takes the mark in front of Stonehouse, who plays on. They've got the outboard and they've got the overlap. McComb ran from half back to half forward, took a bounce at half forward. Now he can drive it short. Oh, missed the target. Muhawk has to come in. Third Owen was there as well. Lewis off a step, open goal square. Which way's it going to bounce through? For behind, because Cleary got a hand to it. And through for a minor score, 8-11, 59 St Joey's. They lead North Shore 5-4, 34. And that's on the Geelong Bank K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
The former skipper pumps it along, and Miljevic, who was the fourth in line, is now in trouble because he's been pinged for holding the ball. He was fourth in line, took the mark and played on and got wrapped up inside 50. Mitchell over the shoulder handball, missed McLaughlin. Good pick up Hayes for North Shore. Gave it back by hand to Cornelius. Cornelius to half back, wanting Tregenza. It's a 3-on-2. The 3 will win out. James Hickey, a handball on the bounce. Camerick taken in the tackle. Shrugged out of it, he was. Gave a handball to Harry Smith. Straightened up onto his left boot. Kick inside forward 50. Cal Mitchell comes with a run. Couldn't complete the mark. Leonard at the front of the pack jams it on the boot and says, let's get out of here, North Shore.
St Joey's, though, got the numbers around the ball. Mullen couldn't pick it up, though, at the foot of the contest. Coming in. Handball Buckley to O'Dwyer. Kick around the corner towards half forward. Lewis second line. He creates some space, though. Handball over the top. McLaughlin had to be quick. Got it inside. 50 to Grandy in front, which he has been all day. And takes the mark. 45 out. Wants to play on now. Open goal square. He goes in that direction. And he's kicked it. There was a bit of a lull from the goal umpire as well. That's his third. Paddy de Grandy took an age. And he's put his third on the board. And it is the 9th for St Joey's. They go to 9-11-65. And they lead North Shore 5-4, 34. Geelong Bank, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard. And in the expert chair, as always, Matt Kershaw.
You've got to blame the umpire there for the anticlimactic goal for Paddy. Again, Max McLaughlin, very good, low at the eyes, didn't blaze away. So the young kids doing their bit. But how strong was Benny Camerick in that stoppage there? And we talk about winning the contested ball. When you want to win the ball and you've got some strength about you, that was fantastic. And that's what got him that foray forward.
We've got a whistle on play at the centre bounce, and it's going to be a free kick going to North Shore, and it might be for a centre square infringement.
Yep. Hardly see them anymore, do you?
No. Driving along Miljevic, inside forward, 50 lane, can't take the mark. He wasn't paid it. He's asking the umpire, why wasn't it paid? O'Dwyer, Al Hickey, Buckley. And a good defensive trio link up. Buckley a driving kick out of wing, and Oscar Morrison judged the flight of the ball best. Gave a handball off. Camerick has a bounce and a run through the middle of Drew Oval. Make it a second bounce now. Takes on Hayes. Has a third bounce now. Can he kick what would be a wonderful goal? No. Pulls a kick for Mitchell and a little bit too much on it. You wouldn't have blamed him for having a shot.
No, would not have.
And Leonard has marked for North Shore, and he goes laterally to Cleary, who marks in the right back pocket. The former skipper of North Shore has it. But, gee, what a build-up from Camerick. He's exciting to watch.
Cleary from the last line of defence goes towards half-back centre wing. Levers there. St Joey's players around him. Kick back to an open centre half forward over the head of Mitchell. De Grandy's there as well. Got 3 against him. Cleary. De Grandy put him to ground. Hayes off a step for North Shore. Out wide. Walmsley out there, and also Adams. And Adams takes the diving mark. That was a good mark right on the ground by Zach Adams. And he will take the ball from right half back, goes towards centre wing with the kick. Lane, fourth in line, couldn't take the mark. Handball to Hocking for St Joey's. O'Dwyer, blind turn. Handball was good. Forward, short little kick. Camerick takes the mark. Called to play on, gets around. Adams gives the handball away. Joey's go inside 50 again. Mitchell's got a couple on him. Mitchell goes up, can't take the mark. Leonard front and centre. He missed the ball to start with, and then he picked it up, and then he wrapped up, and then he dropped it. And hot and told Louis Antonak about it.
He's into him.
And Antonak and Leonard, who are teammates, I think, at Geelong in the VFL, scrimmaging inside 50 at the moment. Oscar Morrison comes in to help out as well, and the umpire comes in, gives the ball back to Antonak, and he'll shoot for goal from 35 out directly in front.
I want Mark Corrigan to put the ball between those two at VFL training. Jeff Hayward, Tank O'Donoghue style on the club.
Oh, yes, that was Louis Antonak told him all about it, and as only Louis Antonak can. Yeah. And
there's only one way to tell him
wasn't happy about it.
Paddy de Grandy's continuing the chirp.
Yeah, you've got to kick the goal now.
Yeah, I was going to say. So he's 35 out directly in front. Louis Antonak has gone back on a nice little runway here.
Watch the celebration if he kicks this.
Where's Jack Mullet as well? So he comes in directly in front, something in the ground, and kicks that. Runs back to the middle and kicks his first of the afternoon.
And they've all gone to him.
The 10th for St Joey's. 10-11-71. They lead North Shore 5-4-34. And that's on the Geelong Bank K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
It really is the only way to get back at the opponent who comes at you in a fight, though, isn't it? To kick that goal. You miss the goal, then it all means nothing. But, good play. Good forward entry again, and great pressure from Louis Antonak.
Well, it looks like this winning streak over North Shore is going to extend to 23 unless the Seagulls can find something, especially with the use of the breeze. We'll get to Jane Birch in a moment for South Point Garden Supplies. Birchie, just give us an idea. Is that breeze still stiffed a little bit to the northern end?
Yeah, it certainly is. It just comes in gusts, though, so it's dropped for the moment whilst I speak, but it does pick up quite significantly.
Northern climbed high, won the tap for St Joseph's. Walmsley got a handball off. Chance to go inside 50 through Bell Chambers. Went looking out there for Miljevic. Well done by Hocking. A handball back to the voice of James Hickey for St Joseph's. Just from a stationary position kicks, but Owen did well to take a good mark under pressure in front of Bell Chambers, and the youngster Tanner Owen, another one getting an opportunity after playing the 3 games and kicking 2 goals last year. Tanner Owen getting a start in the opener for the season. Kick to the wing to Grandy, his target, couldn't take the mark. Dibsdale we haven't called a lot of since that opening term, but the ball's going to spill out to Harrison Smith. He's dumped. That's a really good tackle by Harry Purcell. And he will take a free kick.
He made Harry Purcell work for it too, don't worry. And then Harry Purcell put on a Logie winning effort too.
So Purcell with it. True centre wing out of side.
The ball speared in at half forward. No mark taken. And Hannessy's there for St Joey's. Might get the handball back to Grandy. Thought about it and then runs across centre wing. Goes inside 50. Morrison. Oh, got around Hayes, did he? Yes, he did. Strength and drives it back inside. Good kick. Lowered the eyes to Mitchell. Wants to play on quickly. Wants to wheel around. Called to play on. Has to be really quick now. Goes to the teeth of the goal. Dibsdale goes up. Leonard in front. Needs some support. He got some too. Cleary under pressure. Left foot kick around the corner. Might be okay. They might be out of trouble. Oh, off a step. Purcell just goes whack. There's 4 St Joey's players who raffle it, and taking the mark is Owen.
Owen with the winning ticket, number 12, leaves a handball over the top. James Hickey, watch out, got through the would-be tackler, and then on the outside of the right boot, sees Mullen, but couldn't get it to him. And here's, again, Jordan Purcell hoping for a better clearing kick than the previous one. That saw the ball come back in. So
guys, I just confirmed down here with Ben Camerick. That is how you say his surname.
Thank you very much, Birchie.
Camerick, he said if you want to get really technical, you could say Camerich, but Camerick is fine.
Thank you for that.
It's been a topic of conversation all day.
Chance now for Northam to switch, but he switched it straight onto the chest of Will Milsom. And now Milsom will go wide. And his kick on the bounce will land in front of Carr. Carr swings onto his right boot, drives it long inside forward 50, and it's into the right forward pocket. It was a poor kick. Did no favours. I'll tell you who we haven't caught a lot of Cooper Langan today.
No, I don't think he's had a shot on goal.
22 goals last year from 15 starts for Cooper Langan, second only to Jacob Miljevic in terms of goals at the Seagulls, but hasn't really had a bite of the cherry this afternoon.
Yeah, he got a lot of those goals too around those bigs that they had down there, Langham and Joel Edwards and those types. So he's not got those opportunities today.
Well, he gets a kick there from the ruck contest and goes over the top and just kicks a goal. If you don't mind, just turns around and kicks the goal. Hasn't touched it in 2.5 quarters and goes bang and kicks a goal.
Unbelievable.
So
Unbelievable.
Cooper Langan kicks his. He must have.
I'm taking all the credit for
yeah,
that.
Has he got us on? K-Rock,
I can't get any of those in me multis and
turned around for the ruck contest. He was at the front and he turned around on the right foot and just pushed it up there. The Breeze took it back and kicked the goal. So 6 for North Shore, 6-4-40. They trail St Joey's 10-11-71. Geelong Bank K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
Who else you want to kick a goal?
Yeah. Cal Mitchell.
Cal Mitchell. Right, let's get Cal a goal. Righto.
10-11-71, 6-4-40. North Shore give themselves half a sniff, but really need to be closer than this at three-quarter time. Back in the middle, Northam winning the tap down against Lane. Roving Bell Chambers, ball spills. Lever fired a handball out wide, wanting Gerard. McLaughlin like the look of him. So does Ron Watt, and I can see why he really attacks the footy, but Gerard stole it off him. Bell Chambers got involved with Lever. Back to Bell Chambers, who genuflected, got back to his standing position, then got dumped in a really good tackle by De Grande. And he'll take the resultant free kick, Paddy De Grande. You've got to love it when your key forwards are working up the ground and winning the footy for you with tackles. He drives a kick towards the left forward pocket. Oscar Morrison's got really good hands, and he does take a good mark in front of Hayes. He'll swing onto his right boot just outside 50, sets it up for Mitchell or Owen. Neither can get a run at it, and standing tall, taking a good mark, is Zach Adams in defence.
So he goes lateral with a kick. Oh, Morrison had just sat up in the breeze. Hayes couldn't get to it. Morrison did. He turns around and kicks it to Lewis, who's 40 metres out directly in front. Hunter Lewis.
They could have raffled that anyway, Jason.
Yeah, there was three players. Yeah, Muir was there. Camrick was there as well. So
it was a bit of hand on hips. It was a turnover, and they've just gone a bit disappointed, hands on hips, and the reaction was really slow by the defenders to man up.
So Hunter Lewis has kicked 2 goals, 1 this afternoon. Quick reply from that Cooper Langan goal. If he can put this through, 40 out directly in front, southern end of the ground, bit of breeze, left-hand goal post will be his friend as he comes in, off a step, and as he kicked it straight through the middle for his third. And as we said, the quick reply for St Joey's, they go to 11-11-77. They lead North Shore 6-4-40, Geelong Bank K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard, Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
He's doing his opportunities at Falcons no harm today, is he? He's put his hand up at GFL senior level and he's played some good footy. We said he's got the ability to kick those goals and make something out of nothing, and he's been really good today.
Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, the Geelong Falcons in action. Coates Talent League round 2 this afternoon, I believe, Kurt.
It is. They played the top of the table Oakley Chargers and won by 39 points. Game is over at Deakin University.
85-46. Chance back in the middle for Joey's to clear Northam. A handball off to Camrick. Camrick into the left forward pocket looking for a marking target. Right forward pocket, I should say, and Owen. He can't mark. Leonard sees it out of bounds, and we'll get a boundary throw in. About 40 around from the goal mouth. St Joseph's in attack, looking to hammer home this 37-point advantage. It's an equal game-high lead. Dibsdale to do the ruck work. Lane front position, double palm down towards Gerard. Was able to get a handball release towards Jackson Smith, but here's Camrick giving a handball off. Quick kick inside forward 50 came from Dibsdale, and Dibsdale's kick is out of bounds off hands for a boundary throw-in. Right below our best seats in the house. Thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7. Try the all-new Chimichanga Jaffle today. It's only $6.50. Double palm down lane for North Shore. Lever to Purcell. That's Harry taking in a 2-man tackle, and we'll get another stoppage. About 30 out from the St Joseph's goal. 77 plays 40. Joey's in attack. 17.5 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this third quarter.
Lane gets it down to Lever. It was too hot for him. Ball spills. Camrick on the boundary. Menendez missed it.
Jeez, it was a half snap Barrio.
Through for one behind. Could have done anything, that ball.
He had a smile too.
He did too. His second minor score this afternoon. So 11-12-78. Joey's North Shore 6-4-40.
Hayes runs out of his defensive goal square and bangs it to the wing, but there's Al Hickey standing tall. Steamatic standout, Leopold Sporties player of the day. He's going to be in contention for a lot of awards this afternoon. Is the inspirational leader at St Joseph's. It's a floater inside 50. It's going to land on the chest of Cal Mitchell.
Here we go.
You've got to feel sorry for Paddy Cleary there. It was a mung floater.
Doesn't matter. Who do we want to
We called for Cal Mitchell for one.
Thank you.
He was Paddy Cleary.
It's what we do.
Just can't believe his luck there. He's a bit stiff.
He's a bit stiff. He was actually right on his tail as well. It just fell that little bit short at the last second.
Cal Mitchell.
It's usually a lovely kick of the ball, Cal Mitchell.
Why would you say that out loud?
He picked up 5 votes in the Matheson Medal from the 2 games last year against North Shore, and he's pulled that to the left. It's going to compete in the goal square. Morrison is landed a little bit awkwardly. Keep an eye on that. Just a quad, yeah. And there's going to be a short kick of Hayes marked by Cleary. Barely went 15, but the mark paid for North Shore. Handball over the top. Gerard to Lever to Leonard. Leonard, just a short kick. It didn't go 15, but Purcell, that's Jordan's going to be paid the mark. And for St John of God, we're just keeping an eye on Oscar Morrison, just struggling to get some power through that quad. Keep an eye on that Birchie down boundary side for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. And the kick of Purcell is wide and it bounces out of bounds in front of Walmsley. And he's just not moving freely. Here's Oscar Morrison.
He was at the front of the pack as well, so I don't think it was a corky. It might actually be a strain when he landed.
So boundary throwing, centre wing. Miljevic gets it to the front. Lever. He tracked it there, but St Joey's with the numbers. Then a kick around the corner. And that came from Owen, who is also taking a while to get up. And he's right in the interchange area. Gets up now hobbling as well, so we'll keep an eye on that as well for St John of God this afternoon. And the ball waiting to come back off the second oval to Paddy Cleary for North Shore. Ball comes back. The umpire's going to get his first possession of the afternoon. What's it going to be? Kick it, handball it. No, he's going to throw it.
It's a Sheringian. Don't throw a Sheringian.
Rugby style. So Cleary's got it. Centre wing. Plays on now. And then he kicks it out of bounds right into the Alan Russell Pavilion. So comedy capers on the centre wing position for both teams at the moment. Can he get us out of trouble?
That's right. Jack Buckley with the free kick called to play on. He barely moved and he was called to play on. He goes laterally with the kick and puts it on the chest of Henderson. Henderson, a high left footer, looking for Mullen to fly. Leonard front position. That's a good strong grab in front of Newbor. He's really evolved as Jack Leonard. He goes inboard and he finds Miljevic. It was a dangerous kick. It was almost shut down by Antonak. Miljevic driving a long kick, laying his target. Spoil from the side came from O'Dwyer for St Joseph's. Front of the pack, Salah taken down in a tackle, going nowhere, and we'll get a ball up about 25, make it 30 out from the North Shore goal. 11-12-78, 6-4-40, 21 minutes played. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy.
Northam in front lane, gets it over the shoulder for the ruck contest. Ball spills free, comes back to Walmsley off a step.
Goal.
And he kicks it around the corner, and the goal umpire has not moved. Off one step, Connor Walmsley just turned around, kicked it over his left shoulder, and put his first on the board this afternoon. And the 7th for North Shore. They go to 7-4-46. They trail St Joey's 11-12-78. Geelong Bank, K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard.
Good defensive mark by Leonard, but it was uncontested. So your forwards have got to make an effort just to try and bring that ball to ground, and they were freely able to move that ball into the corridor and get into their forward line quick. So just little things that can let you down and bring you unstuck, and that was one of them.
Go around the grounds at three-quarter time. What scores we can bring you for Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue. Thanks to Paul Kelly and the team for their ongoing support of K-Rock football and the $100 Player of the Day voucher. Back in the middle, the two ruckmen tangled. Miljevic actually grabbed it in the end, but was dragged to ground, lost the footy. Chance now for Mullen. Tucks it under the arm and drives it long for St Joseph's. From the back, Hennessy, no, couldn't complete the mark. Found it at ground level, lost it in the tackle. Did he get a push? Yes. Paddy Cleary is far from impressed with the decision. And Ollie Hennessy, as Paddy Cleary is just holding it in. He really wanted to give the umpire a spray. wondering why he wasn't paid a free kick to start off with for holding the ball. And Ollie Hennessy, who led Joey's goal kicking last year with 26 majors, as they found themselves knocked out in an elimination final. He hasn't kicked one today, a couple of behinds to his name. A chance to kick his first. Man on the mark, about 22 from goal. Hennessy with a deliberate approach will kick and will goal. So they keep finding the answers. Whenever we think North Shore just might be able to get some momentum, Joey's are able to push the margin back out, and this time it's out beyond 6 goals. 12-12, 84 St Joseph's, 7-4. 46 North Shore. 38 is the margin on the third quarter. K-Rock, Geelong Bank scoreboard. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Louis Antonak, again, really important with that run and carry and that clearance from that stoppage. Quick kick into the forward.
I might have called him Mullen. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was Louis. Yeah, it was just that quick movement again into your forwards. And Hennessy probably could have marked, should have marked it, but good play, good follow-up, and a bit unlucky, Cleary, but it was in the back.
Oscar Morrison's come back on, guys. He's gone forward. He's still hobbling a little bit, but a few of the boys are coming off with cramp, which is understandable.
From the middle, Northam got it down. Bell Chambers gets it forward for North Shore. Lane's down there. Got a couple to beat. Hocking as well. The umpire says it's off hands and out of bounds. So right forward pocket for North Shore. We're going to have a boundary throw in.
St John of God with our injury updates, James.
Been playing 24 minutes. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock in this third term. From the back, Northam got it down. Hocking, short little kick only as far as Bell Chambers. Turn it around the corner and kick the goal. So just as Connor Walmsley did a couple of minutes ago, just one step, kick over the shoulder. Bell Chambers puts his first on the board, and another quick reply for the Seagulls. They got 8-4-52. They trail St Joey's 12-12, 84. Geelong Bank, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard.
A little bit of a coach killer though, Jace, because they're both stoppage goals. So, and they're both snap goals, and they're both under no pressure. So a bit of a coach killer. They've got to get a bit more defensive around those stoppages and those forward 50.
12 playing 8-4. They need a couple more just to give themselves a sniff. They've got to probably be within 20 points. Kirsch.
Yeah, to be any chance. I'm not sure what the goals are this end, but they'd probably be a bit closer than that.
McLaughlin bursts away after roving the tap of Northam. It's a floater inside forward 50. Owen couldn't trap it. Newhaw could. Handball out the side door. Chance for number 4 for Lewis. Chance for number 4. Oh. He's missed to the right. Through for a behind. Having some sort of debut. Hunter Lewis with 3 goals, 2. St Joseph's now with 12-13-85, playing 8-4-52.
The ball comes back into Hayes, and he gives it away under pressure for North Shore back line. Cleary gives it away. Off a step Stonehouse towards the 50. Antonak waits for it. Will he get it? Ball spills free. Camerick got it away. Now on the left, McLaughlin. Max McLaughlin on the left. Lammy's 7th goal of the afternoon contender. And Kirsch is a very happy man watching his protege kick the goal. His first of the afternoon, and it's goal for goal here at Drew Oval. 13-13-91 St Joey's. North Shore 8-4-52. Geelong Bank, K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard.
Well, we do get excited, Jace, don't we, about new players coming into the competition and what they can do and can they play at this level. We talk about how good our competition is in Victoria, and when you see these young kids come up and do what they're doing, and the new recruits for North Shore, it's really great to see for the competition. And it excites us, it gets us going and gets us ready for a new season.
Great signs for Ron Watt. We know the work he can do as a development coach. He's got some kids to work with back in the middle. Neither ruckman got a hand on it. McLaughlin hit it at pace on the bounce, but was straight into a tackle laid by Jackson Smith. And we will get a ball up just forward of the centre circles, favouring St Joseph's. Northam got high, got a fist on the footy, knocked it forward about 5 metres, but coming off half-back, Purcell with a nice little bit of footwork, and then banged it on the boot inside forward 50. That was Harry. Jordan's there. Can he find it at ground level? He can. Rolling ball. He burnt Carr.
He did.
He could have handballed to Herschel Carr, who would have strolled into an open goal. Instead, he dribbled a kick out of bounds for a boundary throw-in, and in the right forward pocket at the cemetery end. Fair to say Carr was a little bit stiff there.
Everyone else was snapping him down in that forward 50, so he thought he'd have a go himself.
Boundary throw-in Hocking. Force and Joey's up against Lane for North Shore, just pushes Hocking underneath the footy, but he's still got a hand to it. Falls to James Hickey, handball, chopped off, good tackle. St Joey's working overtime, and Hickey, James again, saw the ball over the boundary line in front of the scoreboard, and we will have A boundary throw in. Lane Northam's worked his way back down into the back line. Lane, though, with the double-hander, got it down. Purcell ripped off the football. St Joey's get a clearing kick over the back. No mark taken. And there's going to be a free kick. The
way down there. There's a fight.
Oh, okay. There's a scrimmage behind the play.
There's a bit of blood there.
There is too. Yeah. So
is that Cameron
Purcell
Camerick with some blood?
And yeah, it is on his right eye. St John of God. Oh, yes. And there's going to be blood rule. So Camerick's going to have to come off the ground. Purcell's been pushed away. Free kick going to go to to North Shore. I think it's going to be Jordan Purcell with the free kick.
So Camerick with the blood rule. Down to you, Birchie, as Ben Camerick makes his way towards you. Just give us a bit of an idea of how much claret's coming from that eye.
I'm just trying to get a better view.
Jane Birch down boundary side, Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. What have you seen, Birchie?
Yeah, just above his eyebrow, he's got a bit of a nick, so there's a fair bit of blood coming out. They'll clean him up and he'll be back out there shortly, I'm sure.
So the umpires are in discussion and the book is out.
Yep.
And who is going to be cut? So James Hickey is Al Hickey's being spoken to. Who's getting the card? Is it James Hickey that's going to be spending some time off the ground? I'm not exactly sure here. So umpire O'Neill has reached into his sock. We haven't seen a card, though.
Just report, I think.
Well, there's a report. Well, what's the report? Usually if you're reported, you're carded, aren't you? So we'll be seeking some clarity around that.
And goes on.
Yeah. And it's going to be Jordan Purcell with a shot at goal. So a chance to redeem himself, and he's hung it out to the right and through for a minor score. And the margin is, again, 38 points. 8-5-53 North Shore. St Joseph's 13-13-91 as we approach 30 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy. Third quarter, K-Rock football.
Buckley plays on from fullback for St Joey's, goes long and wide, looks for De Grande, gets pushed under the football by Cleary and then puts the tackle on. And the ball is held up. The umpire will come in and ball it up. Right half for North Shore. The K-Rock box has just been
bombarded
by Sharon, so that's great. Ball from the ruck contest back, and taking the mark easily is Jack Buckley by himself at left half back.
Underneath the scoreboard, thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. It shows a 38-point lead, 91-53. Good mark at the front. Tanner Owen, playing just his fourth game. He's showing some really good signs. He kicks towards half forward, went through the arms of McLaughlin, roving at the front of the pack. Chance now for Mullen. Backtracks, handball to Henderson. Henderson, a little kick into the path of Muir. Missed him. Milsom tried to get a fist on it, couldn't. Mitchell with a left foot snap and a wonderful finish. Cal Mitchell with a nice goal. Gets his first of the afternoon. And the margin now is out to 44 points, and this is good as game over here at Drew Oval as we approach three-quarter time. St Joseph's 14-13-97. North Shore are 8-5-53. Third quarter K-Rock scoreboard. Thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Yeah, good for the youth again, Owen. But Henderson, we didn't mention him in the pre-game as a young kid. He played 18s last year, so he was a Falcons player and here under 18s. And he played the 2 senior games last year. And, they've got some good young players going around today that we haven't even spoke about. They've only played a handful of senior games.
Hunter Lewis in the ruck for St Joey. So there you go. There's a new one. He went up.
He can do a few things, but...
Free kick being fouled. Owen's going to take the free kick back into the centre square for St Joey's.
No. Hunter Lewis in the ruck. He's got
ruck
the ruck infringement.
So Lewis will take the free kick right in the middle of Drew Oval. Called to play on left foot kick. Great to De Grande. What a kick. Paddy just hit me on the chest, and he does. Plays on. 50 out, right foot kick, top of the square. Morrison gets back there. Yep. Name written on it. It said, please mark me, and Oscar Morrison said, yes, I will.
He just had to decide when he was going to reach for it, that's all.
And Paddy Cleary stands the mark. He's only 3 metres out, but he's on a very acute angle with a little bit of a knock to his leg. See how he goes.
This is a pretty straightforward kick in the AFL, isn't it, these days? But let's see what he does here. Banana by the look of it.
Comes in, right forward pocket, southern end of the ground, comes out a little bit, bananas it and misses. And to be honest with you, didn't really look like it from the start.
No. The shuffle, the out.
Yes, not good.
Yeah, your run-up was a bit of the change in line.
14-14, 98 St Joey's, 8-5-53 North Shore. Geelong Bank K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
Leonard's kicking had a little bit too much on it for Walmsley, but landed safely on the chest of Cooper Langan, so North Shore will get outside of defensive 50. Pulls a kick back towards the broadcast wing. No mark taken there by Tregenza. And it's at ground level. And a chance to be stolen out of there by Walmsley. A high ball towards right half forward, sitting underneath it, but no mark was Burns. Here's a chance from Milsom. Milsom outside of the right boot. Oh, he's put the finger in the air. And the margin is back to 39. So they are finding goals, but unfortunately St Joseph's are finding more. And Will Milsom kicks his first of the afternoon, first of the season, and the margin is again 39 points as we get to 33 and a half minutes played. Geelong Bank, K-Rock, third quarter scoreboard. St Joseph's 14-14, 98. North Shore 9-5, 59.
I guess what we like to see is they're not lying down. They're not just happy with what they've done. Being here and turning up. They're still fighting and seeing the game out, and they're still trying to get the ball movement going. They're still trying to get in their forward 50, and they're still scoring goals. So whilst they might not be, a chance to win the game, they are still seeing this game out.
Dipsdale on the ruck now, and Walmsley, who's done well, gives it away to Miljevic. Goes with a right foot kick for North Shore. Inside 50 again in the middle lane. Did he take the mark just before the siren?
Yes,
the umpire said. Yes, he.
Two bites.
No, it hit the hands, and I reckon he bobbled it. But it's when the umpire hears it.
Yeah.
So he's taken the mark, and will shoot for goal from 10 out slide angle.
I'm really confused with his goal kicking today, Jace.
You don't know what you think.
He's kicking this.
He's kicking this. He's had some shanks. He's had some mungs, and he's kicked one dead straight.
He needs to.
Yeah.
Because North Shore need this.
They do.
Heading into three-quarter time. It's northern end of the ground. 10 out, slide angle. He comes in and he has kicked
straight through the middle.
He has kicked his second of the afternoon.
No issues.
And the 10th for North Shore. They go to 10-5-65. Cut the margin. North Shore St Joey's 14-14, 98. And that is on the Geelong Bank K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
34 minutes that quarter going on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. And we might try and find out, Birchie, as you work your way to the huddles to have
If we can get on top of them there and run the ball, we're certainly a good chance. So, yeah, the boys will go out and have a crack now.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. Good luck.
There, go on, Birchie.
In terms of the report, there has been no report laid. They just said there was a blood rule called, obviously, and then it was just a free kick paid, so no reports have been laid.
Okay, thank you for that, Jane Birch. Well, yeah, I did see umpire Jack O'Neill reach for his sock with which would have the pen in it to go for the notebook, but nothing untoward has taken place, which is good, and Ben Camerick will hopefully be shortly back out onto the ground, or if he's not already out there, I think he might actually be out there with the potentially the head tape. Just having a look, I can see
him and Ollie.
I reckon he might have changed number as well.
Change, yeah, 37, I think it is. Is it 37? On his haunches standing next to Lever. No, Lever, yeah, 37.
So it's 37 for him. So
that's his third jumper change for the day.
Well, he was going to be in number 10. Then we get told he's in 41. Now we've got him in 37.
What about the crew in the middle, Northam and Camerick now? They got more bandages than you can. Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Jarmo.
Final quarter for Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Umpire Jones just waiting for the last remnants of the crowd to make their way off Drew Oval. And we will see the ball held aloft as we get this final term of the season opener underway. St Joseph's by 33. Here's Jason Doherty.
Jordan Lane in the ruck now against Northam. Neither can get really a tap down. Lever straight out of the middle for North Shore. Inside 50. Langan on the right side. Great punch away by Hocking for St Joey's. Handball from Al Hickey on the outside to Buckley. And the home side go towards centre wing. Lewis gets around on the left outside. Left boot. And he has kicked it right into Doc's pocket. That's no doubt about that because it's out of bounds on the full.
That's 10 for the day, James.
10 for the day.
Double figures.
We'll get the dozen, I reckon, today, Kirk.
I reckon you're right.
And it's going to be a free kick to North Shore.
Jack Leonard with the resultant free kick in that left-back pocket. We'll keep an eye on some Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup. See if anything's been thrown around by Darren Winter to try and rejuvenate North Shore in this last quarter. His kick to the wing was a floater. It went through hands. Here's Jordan Purcell running into a Northern tackle and absolutely dumped by him and Lewis. And we'll get a ball up. Almost true centre wing out of side. Umpire O'Neill to put the ball back into play. Tapped down by Lane. Jordan Purcell, a handball on the bounce. Here's Adams, went to ground, lost the footy, tried to pull it back in. He's being chicken winged there by Antonak. Now diving on the footy is Lever. He's wrapped up over the top by Camerick, and he's going to get a free kick. Yeah, he is, but maybe too high. He comes laterally. No. He missed his target, and the rolling ball taken by Morrison of St Joey's. Swings onto his right boot, drives it long towards the goal square. One-on-one. Mitchell got ready to clear. He couldn't complete the mark. He found it at ground level, though. Quick snap, Mitchell. Goal, Mitchell, and that might be game over.
Coach killer.
So Cal Mitchell kicks his second, and that takes the Joeys past the ton. They're 15-14, 104. The margin now 39. And it's North Shore 10-5-65. Final quarter. K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
You certainly want to pull the trigger and hit the corridor, Jason, get that ball moving. But once it becomes a skill error and a turnover in the corridor, you're in all sorts of trouble. Particularly the way that forward line moves, St Joseph's. And you're one-on-one, Cal Mitchell's going to beat you nearly every time.
Northam got it down, but only as far as Wormsley. High kick inside 50. Name written on it. Al Hickey.
I
wonder if he knows his way to Leopold. And Finney.
There's been a few 50s today too.
Yeah. So Jordan Purcell giving that away. Umpire to come into the middle of Drew Oval.
That's not 50.
It's 43 and a bit and 26. And now Hickey gets the kick over the top and missed the target. Lane got it to Lever at half back. His handball. They want to try and get it out. Adams was tackled. Now Hayes to Smith, and now they're out. They go towards centre wing. O'Dwyer comes late, but it was a good mark in front. And I'm not sure we're going to be able to just settle the play down. Purcell. Short little kick over the top. Oh, Smith. Mullen came at him. And Mullen happy to see it over. It's a deliberate, said the umpire, so free kicks.
That is as deliberate as it gets.
Smith pushed it straight out. Yeah. Right in front of Jane Birch down there, and the free kick's going to go to St Joey's.
To the hands of Jack Mullen. who, from a standing start, kicks inside forward 50, and Lane comes up and takes a nice mark. Hamlin, hanger contender for North Shore, gives a handball laterally to Leonard, who goes short to Walmsley. Walmsley gave back to Leonard, who kept running. He kicked a mung floater off the boot that went looking for Milsom. He got shoved off the footy by O'Dwyer of St Joseph's. Diving on it is Hayden Burns. He can't take it. Knocked out the back door towards Al Hickey. Good tackle, Lever. It was a really good tackle, actually. And then Milsom had to basically hitch a ride on Big Northam and was able to hold him up and get a ball up forward of the wing, favouring North Shore. Broadcast side not far up from our best seats in the house, Rapco Cafe 24/7. Try the all-new Chimichanga Jaffle today.
Northam got it down. Adams through the middle, Lever. Now North Shore go inside 50 with a high kick again. Hickey, nobody really wants to take it. Purcell was there as well. Al Hickey through. Oh, great pick up. Handball. Henderson running past his handball inside to Antonak. Runs through the middle. 2 bounces. Keeps going. On the cricket pitch area. Goes to the right foot kick towards the left forward pocket. Morrison put a hand up, and getting back there and seeing it through was Cornelius for North Shore, and a rush behind to the home side. They got a 15-15, 105. They lead North Shore 10-5, 65. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
So it's Leonard driving it towards half back. Big fly. Salah had to spoil it away from O'Dwyer. Purcell front of the pack. That was Harry, or rather Jordan. Chance now for Lane for North Shore. Couldn't take it cleanly. Northern taking in a tackle. Ball spills. Well, then dumped was Antonak over the boundary line. And it's near the boundary line. Not going out. Now it eventually does. And in the left forward pocket, we will get a boundary throw-in. That was Mullen down there. So left forward pocket, boundary throw in front of the Alan Russell Pavilion. Front position, Northern won the tap down. The ball spills to the front to Muhor. Muhor to Owen by hand for St Joseph's. Handball on the bounce that was intended for Antonak. Didn't get there. Getting in the way, running interference was Tregenza. And now laying a tackle over the top is Antonak. And is he winning a free kick there against Jordan Purcell? He is, and he then quickly plays on and drives a kick across the face of goal, going back with the flight to Grandy. What a wonderful kick from Louis Antonak.
He's been terrific today.
And that's what's got him on Geelong's VFL list. Just smart plays like that. Could have easily had a flying shot at goal, but saw de Grandy all alone in the right forward pocket. And this won't be the easiest of kicks. As we said, he has a unique drop when the ball goes onto the boot. But this would be for a game-high advantage to push the margin to 46 points. De Grandy kicks. De Grandy has goal.
That's a good goal.
4 for the afternoon for Paddy de Grandy. After 13 goals from 16 games last year, he has really started on the right foot in season 2022 as he kicks his 4th. And St Joseph's kick their 2nd of the quarter. The final term, thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Joey's 16-15, 111. They lead North Shore 10-5, 65.
Just an injury update down here on the boundary. Zach Adams has come off and he was favouring his left shoulder. Looks in a fair bit of discomfort, so they're just talking to him now and trying to work out what's happened there.
Thanks, Birchie. For St John of God, we put you first. Myer Street, Geelong.
Through the middle. And St Joey's try and get it through towards Mullen. Rip Gerrard off the ball. Should get a free kick. Camrick was there to start with, and then the ball went to Gerrard. So now Meljevic goes wide. They draw it back in towards centre half forward. Bell Chambers thought about playing on. Now he does. 55 out, long kick to the teeth of goal. Purcell in the middle, falls to the front. Carr got his head ripped off. The umpire said play on. Langan gets wrapped up, not going anywhere. And that tackle, St Joey's working overtime deep, 50, and we're going to have a ball up at 25 out from the North Shore goal.
Ball into the air. Doing the ruck work. Big slap on the ball. Came out from Joe Chaplin. Now the clearing kick was from Hickey. That was James Hickey. It's off hands out the back. Chance now for Dibsdale. Handball a bit too hot for Mitchell, so Dibsdale had to come again. Gave it to McLaughlin. McLaughlin with the outside of the right boot. Kicks towards Lewis. Attacked by Leonard, who ricocheted the ball back towards the boundary line. McLaughlin tried to keep it alive. Couldn't. And we'll get a boundary throw in. And I really like the look of Ron Watt knows talent when he sees it. And Max McLaughlin has got that in spades.
So boundary throw in, centre wing, outer side here at Drew Oval. Miljevic up against, getting it down was Chaplin, now McLaughlin from the back of the contest, goes towards half forward with the kick, spills free, Gerard gives it to Leonard, lateral kick, and what was that play on? Yes, it is now. Short little kick is okay to Cleary, who gets it and gives it back, and Walmsley just defensive side of the centre. They play on now, chip ball towards Milsom by himself. That's better movement. Bellchambers 40 out, open goal square, and Carr leaves it. Thought it was going to go through, then couldn't get it as it did go through. Herschel Carr just smacks the behind post as he runs past, and a behind to Bellchambers. They go 10-6-66. They trail St Joey's 16-15 or 111.
Good run by Purcell, Harry Purcell through the middle there to set Bellchambers up for the shot at goal. Just couldn't finish as O'Dwyer goes short to Smith. Harry Smith on his preferred left, a low ball that Mitchell has to take on the half volley. Did okay, handball back inboard to Al Hickey, confronted, loops a handball over the top for Buckley. But Buckley had to stretch for it and had it knocked from his grasp by Lever. Walmsley, Lever for North Shore. Don't argue, a handball back. Jackson Smith, a handball on the bounce. Stonehouse trying to trap it in front of him. Did okay, knocked it into the path of Bellchambers. Harry Purcell pulled the kick out past the outstretched arms of O'Dwyer. Here's a chance out the back. Cooper Langan, and don't argue on James Hickey. Then a handball to Salah. Salah 45 from goal, tight against the boundary line. Hangs in the air. Milsom didn't fly. Two Joey's players spoiled each other, and it went through for a minor score. And Milsom is down, just slow to get up for St John of God. He will get to his feet eventually, but a rush behind there for the Seagulls. They're 10-6-66. Joey's make it 10-7-67. 16-15, 111.
Kamarick kicks in short, and Antonak took the mark inside defensive 50, goes out wide. Mullen takes it at defensive 50, runs and goes to centre wing. Mark taken. Chaplin, he chips the ball back in. Mitchell takes it, looking for a handball, has to go back now on the mark. Centre wing on the outer side, plays on. So try and drive it long inside 50, open over the back. De Grande got a hand up, couldn't take it. Lewis goes past and... Oh, jeez, I thought he... and then he ran into the behind post. I thought he'd picked it up and he dropped it. Then the behind post went whack, straight in his head. Like it was moving.
Flicked it up like a little Harlem Globetrotter or something.
And in the end, it was out of bounds off his hands, and it will be a throw-in in the left forward pocket, northern end of the ground.
Ball back into play. Tap down Oscar Morrison. Hayes to do the roving for North Shore. His handball a little bit too hot for Adams, who then just knocked it straight to the path of Cal Mitchell. And Mitchell said, thanks very much. I'll kick my third of the afternoon. So Mitchell with 3, St Joseph's with 17, and the margin is now at 50 points. 17-15, 117, plays 10-7-67. Final quarter, K-Rock, Harvey Norman scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Since we asked him to kick a goal, he has.
He's kicked 3 of them. Who else do you want, Jace? There's someone else down there that we haven't
let's have
got
a look.
goal yet.
What about, let's get Tanner Owen a goal.
All right, let's get Tanner a goal.
Tanner Owen, yeah, okay.
Around the grounds for Leopold Sporties, AFL round 3 action this afternoon is just the one game taking place, and it's Hawthorn 71 leading North Melbourne 60. With 19 minutes almost played in the final quarter in Launceston.
K-Rock's own Clark, I'll be happy about that. Back in the middle, Chaplin couldn't take it. Free kick.
Didn't a bit happen between Clarko appearing on Grand Final Day on K-Rock Football and Grand Final Day the following week in the AFL?
Just a little bit.
Another 50?
Yeah, another 50 from the middle. So Chaplin's got the free kick. And
he's going for his first goal in GFL.
It's not the biggest 50 I've ever seen either.
It's not, considering that...
Tate measures at umpire training this week, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe they're going the other way from last year's prelim, which was a K.5. Chaplin has got it. He's about 50 out. He's got the breeze, though, so just inside the right-hand goalpost, Joe. And he's pushed... Jeez, if you don't mind, he's nearly pushed that over the back of the actual cemetery.
It's knocked the...
And he's kicked a goal. He's first in the GFNL. And St Joey's go on their merry way. It's 18-15, 123. And they lead North Shore 10-7-67. Harvey Norman K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard.
Well, there's not much to really look back on that one. There was an infringement in the ruck. It was a 50 and it was a goal.
It was a pretty easy play, wasn't it?
Pretty easy play indeed. And the wheels are slowly falling off because considering we've still got about 17 minutes left of this game, this is a potential to be a bit of a blowout, I think. Well, if it's not already.
Tap down in the middle, doing the ruck work was Chaplin, getting an opportunity in there, but he's Gerard, after receiving it from Adams, kick towards the wing was up the chimney arrangement. There's going to be a free kick for too high going to Tanner Owen.
Can't kick it from there, Jace.
Yes, he can, with the breeze.
Unleash.
Owen sees something he likes in the right forward pocket, sends in that direction. It's Cal Mitchell. Well, a little bit too easy there for Cal Mitchell. The North Shore defence in a little bit of disarray there. And really the margin's not reflective. At 56 points, you actually feel that this is short-changing North Shore, but St Joseph's have been very impressive since quarter time. They have kicked 16 goals to 7. They trail by 13 points early. A chance now for Mitchell to kick what would be his 4th of the afternoon. Cal Mitchell drives and has gold. So 4 for Cal Mitchell, all coming in this second half, 3 in this final term that is now ticked over 14 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock and the K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard. St Joseph's 18, make it 19, 15, 129 lead. 10-7-67 over North Shore. The margin, 62 points.
I'd like to see how many times last year St Joseph's kicked over 20 goals.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have kicked over 20 at all in a game last year. For memory, our stats man would know, but
he'll find that out for you.
Football guru, but you know they're on the potential of opening up with a 20-goal first game here.
So Lane got first hands to it down to Adams in the ruck contest, but working overtime there, Chaplin, who was in the ruck against Lane, doing the tackling work there, and then they both go at it in the ruck contest again. Chaplin tapped it on and picked it up, and blind turn.
Big fella.
And right foot kick, long, deep 50, and Cameron couldn't keep it in. Hayes next to him. Off hands and out of bounds for a throw in left forward pocket.
And I guess the last couple of years what St Joseph's have been missing is that ruckman. Now you've got Ollie Northam in there helping out Paddy de Grande and Chaplin. Gibbsdale's gone through there. So they've got a few more options. Hovey's to come back into this side.
Boundary throw in Lane, got it down. Hayes shuffled the handball back. Leonard off a step, round the corner. Al Hickey to come at it. Pushed off the ball. Now McComb, his handball to Antonak. Right foot kick over the shoulder. Gee, it's a high kick. And Hayes, does he get a hand to it? Is that high? The umpire said free kick. And will be a St Joey's free kick. And it's Northam who put the big hands up, couldn't take them up, but got one high and will shoot for goal from about 3 metres out, but he's right on the boundary line.
21-14 against Geelong West in that midday start. In the,
that's right.
They pantsed them.
Yes, that's
absolutely
right.
pantsed them.
So Northam comes in and
kicks
the goal. So his first of the afternoon.
His first in GFL football.
GFNL football as well.
GFNL,
Thank you. And the 20th for St Joey's this afternoon. 20-15-135. They lead North Shore 10-7-67. Harvey Norman K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
We just need Dibsdale and Kamarick now to kick a goal, and all the first gamers have kicked their first goal.
Ollie Northam just updated us down here about his bandage on his head. He got a stud to the chin.
Oh, nice.
Which would have been fairly painful, so that's why he's got that arrangement with the bandaging.
Thank you for that, Jane Birch. Covering all our injuries for St John of God. We put you first on My Street in Geelong. Back in the middle, North Shore looking to go forward through Adams, but harassed by Buckley. Coming off the point of the square was Jordan Purcell. He couldn't take it. Antonak, a handball into space for McLaughlin. McLaughlin outside of the right boot. Could spoil Harry Purcell, but straight back to McLaughlin, who followed up and then sent a kick towards forward 50. Hayes playing in front should get a free kick being held against Kamarick. And it'll come back to Lockie Hayes.
Bandage has been paid.
And it has been paid well down the ground. And it's going to end up in the hands of Jordan Purcell, who marks at left half forward. What's he got inside forward 50? He's got Carr short. Instead, just said looks for the option of Miljevic. He'll fly from behind. Coming up was Hocking to provide a spoil for St Joe's. He's going to fall for Cooper Langan. Langan out the side door, and Tregenza should goal and does. Nice finish from Tregenza. Nice little handball, sleight of hand from Cooper Langan out the side door, and Bradley Tregenza with the goal. A much needed one for the Seagulls. Their first of this final term, and they're now 11-7-73. St Joseph's 20-15-135. The margin is at 62 points. I did say to Ron Watt, I'd be surprised if we got a 40-goal bang. We've got 31. Yes.
Well, it's closer to 40 than it is 20.
Yeah, that's right. And there's still a lot of footy left in this one. We've gone 18 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Back to the middle, Lane and Chaplin. Hits Chaplin on the head. Now Bell Chambers from the middle. Lead on from Cooper Langan. Goes in that direction. Over his head. Milsom's there as well. Keeps in front. Wants the right foot kick, top of the square. It's a good kick. James Hickey gets across there. Can't take it. Mark and off his hands. Out of bounds. Left forward pocket for North Shore. We'll have a boundary throw-in.
So one more goal for St Joey's will give them a higher score than what they kicked throughout their 19 games in 2022, which will please Ron Watt. Miljevic front position from behind Chaplin. El Hickey was able to release a handball to Antonak. Antonak a high kick towards the outer wing for St Joseph. Oh, it's got to be a free kick for front on contact, surely. And I think it might be Cornelius still waiting for the call. The kick's gone inside forward 50. Here's Camerick. He's got Hayes for company. We'll look to turn him inside out. And he's going to stroll in and kick the goal. Just burnt Lockie Hayes off. Arched the back and ran in, and Camerick has kicked the goal.
Come on, Archer.
So there's another one on debut. They now have, by my count, 12 individual goal kickers. And they go to 21-15, 141. North Shore 11-7, 73. And the margin is back to an equal game high, 68 points.
Well, let's get Archer Dibsdale forward, Jace, if we can. The Vicar of Dibley.
The Vicar of Dibley.
Let's get him down there. It's a clean sweep. You're not going to get it in the back pocket, let's be honest.
Come on, Art. Come on.
Where's the theatre in Ron Watt?
Oscar Hocking on debut too.
Oh, yeah, Oscar Hocking on debut.
Well, we're done for then. Chaplin, Lane gets it down. Mullen to Antonak.
He's been huge.
Yeah, Antonak. High kick to centre half forward. Big pack there to Grandy. Northam, the big fella Northam. Handball outboard. Owen had to sit and wait. Kick a goal. That'd be great because we asked for one. Ball across the face of goal, dragging Ronnie. And one behind to Tanner Owen. He's kicked two of those this afternoon. And they go to 21-16, 142 Joey's. North Shore 11-7, 73. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Into time on, 20 and a half minutes played. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Hayes takes off into the right back pocket, drives a kick in Big Lane, who's shown some good signs this afternoon, has taken a nice mark. They'd love to have two of him. If they could have him and Kobe Annan together in the same team, that is going to give fits to the opposition. It's going to be a free kick, I reckon, for a tunnel.
Yeah.
And it's going to go to De Grandy, who landed awkwardly, and he quickly hit the ground in that awkward kicking style. It's a real floater, and he's put it straight onto the chest of Jack Leonard, who hasn't stopped trying this afternoon for North Shore. He goes short to Lane, and Lane is marked. They're still inside defensive 50, and they've been really, since quarter time, hemmed into St Joseph's half of the ground. A high kick to the wing. This is where they just don't have a target, and the mark comfortably taken there for St Joseph's. Might have been Chaplin. Chaplin goes laterally to Buckley. Buckley gives a handball off to Al Hickey. Al Hickey sends it towards the outer side wing, and the mark taken by Tanner Owen, almost at the point of the square at right half back.
So Owen goes long to half forward, looking for Morrison. Got a hand to it. On the side, McLaughlin kicks around the corner towards the pocket. Camerick turns around, right foot kick, skills again, misses. And waving for 1-3 this afternoon. 21-17, 143 St Joey's. North Shore 11-7, 73. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
He's been entertaining to watch, Ben Camerick.
He has.
Family's over from Tassie, I believe, as well, listening to us through K-Rock 955. Welcome to you guys. Hope you're enjoying the call and Ben's performance. Driving kick from Hayes at Lane. Got a hand on, but couldn't reel in. It's out of bounds for a boundary throw in front of the Alan Russell Pavilion. So for St Joseph's, St Mary's in a fortnight's time under lights at Anthony Costa Oval before South Barwon on Anzac Day. They get a break, and then Leopold and Geelong West. North Shore, Colac and Bell Park consecutive games at home will be there for the clash with the Dragons, and they also take on South Barwon and Lara in the first month of the season.
So the ball comes to Dibsdale at centre half forward. Pick it up, big fella. And then he gets wrapped up, and he's not getting rid of the football there. The umpire says he's held on to it. He's hatched that.
Jeez, he was stiff and just didn't pop up.
North Shore will take the free kick. And it's going to be Carr with it. Who goes Latchell with the kick, and Harry Purcell takes it. So left half back, he tries to drill it back in, board is okay. Tregenza takes it centre half back, so now switching the play and coming towards the Alan Russell Pavilion side. Ball goes towards...
Guess who?
Yeah, Camerick, who chopped it off from Leonard, and then he goes with the kick in towards Hunter Lewis, who takes the mark. Thought about the short kick to McLaughlin, but now he's going to go back and have a set shot. We're about 45 out. And tough kick again across the breeze. He's kicked 3 goals 2 this afternoon. Hunter Lewis.
He'll kick this.
Oh, there you go.
He'll learnt from his other kick.
Right,
I tell you, he does a lot of goal kicking practice, he does. And he learns from his last kick, so don't be surprised.
Come in now. Left half forward. Oh, just a couple of steps too, and it's a good kick for distance, but accuracy missed to the near side. 3 goals 3, his personal tally this afternoon. 21-18, 144 now, Joey's. And the Seagulls 11-7, 73. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Harry Purcell's short kick in is marked by Gerard for North Shore. He goes short for Cornelius, and he's turned it over and put it straight into the waiting arms of Louis Antonak. There was just indecision coming outside of defensive 50 from North Shore, and Louis Antonak has been gifted a shot at goal, a chance at his second, and a chance to make the margin 77 points.
That's not poor kicking, it's poor decision making when you go for those kicks.
Antonak with 1, and a performance this afternoon that will have Mark Corrigan no doubt interested down at Geelong VFL. Antonak will start at right-hand goal post. Will he look to work it back? He does successfully. Nice finish from Louis Antonak. He's got 2. And they have really put some hurt on North Shore now. 7-goal final term. Make that an 8-goal final term for St Joseph's. They've gone 6, 6 and now 8 over the final 3 quarters, and at the 25-minute mark of this final term, K-Rock, Harvey Norman scoreboard, St Joseph's 22-18, 150, North Shore 11-7, 73.
Hey, Kingy, can I also just say, you said that we're not going to see a 40-goal game today.
We're not.
But did you know about, they missed 8 easy goals too, North Shore, St Joseph's in that second period. We could have easily made 40 today.
That's it. Back to the middle. Chaplin having an extended run in the ruck, gets it down to Muhor. Walmsley though for North Shore. Kicks it inside 50. Over the head of Carr. Buckley takes the mark and runs away. Goes with a kick out wide. And no mark taken by Mullen. He's got 3 against him.
He's trying to sell some candy.
Purcell now lever. Back inside, heard the call, saw somebody running from deep 50, and it's Tregenza goes inside with the kick. It's okay. And North Shore had a little bit of space between a few of them there. And the mark has been taken by Hayden Burns, who will shoot for goal from 40 out directly in front.
I can tell you Port Arlington 67, trail Newcombe 71, and that would be 3-quarter time at Port Arlington.
You called this before the game, Kingy.
Haven't won since round 1 2019, I believe.
So Burns comes in, right foot kick, and has missed it through for 1 behind.
I do think the cause of this lack of scoring for North Shore is the long sleeves. I think there's way too many long sleeves out there today.
Holding the back, you think?
Yeah, I do.
11-8-74 North Shore. St Joey's 22-18, 150. Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
They're lucky it's not raining. The jumpers would be heavy as.
Jack Buckley's short kick in is marked by O'Dwyer, who goes short to Al Hickey. Just saw O'Dwyer just grabbing his left hamstring, and that is siren. That's an early siren for a quarter that saw 9 goals kicked.
They'd had enough.
27 minutes only, and the Ron Watt era has started with a big win against his former club, 22-18, 150 St Joseph's. North Shore 11-8, 74. Success for the men in red, gold and black. And the North Shore boys, well, that streak of losses against St Joseph's now extends to 23, and depending on fixturing next year, it'll go to 19 years potentially between wins here at Drew Oval. Goal kickers this afternoon, there's plenty of them for St Joseph's. Mitchell and De Grande kicked 4 apiece. There was 3 for Lewis Hunter on debut, 2 for Louis Antonak, and a bunch of singles. McLaughlin, Hannessy, Camerick, Chaplin, Muhor and Northern. While for North Shore, there was 2 for Jordan Lane. Singles for Langan, Tregenza, Bell Chambers, Carr, Adams, Milsom, Burns, Ted Castle and Walmsley. So 10 individual goal kickers for the Seagulls, but only one multiple, and that was Jordan Lane. They led by 13 points at the 12-minute mark of the opening term. North Shore, they kicked the first 2 goals of the game, but from then on, it was 22 goals to 9, and they were all over them from there. St Joseph's 22-18, 150. North Shore 11-8, 74. Fifth quarter is underway. Jane Birch is going to head down onto the ground, grab one of the players. Birchie's just working her way out there now. See who she's going to grab. She's also got to decide the player of the year for a player of the day, I should say, for Leopold Sporties. And also, of course, we have the Steamatic standout. So Birchie will head out and try and get one of the victorious St Joseph's players. And the final score confirmed at 22.
Did you know Arthur's still around too? Did you know Arthur's back for season 2023? He's around the grounds for Armageddon. He said North Geelong coming hard against Thompson, 5 points behind. So there you go.
I reckon Arthur's got a bit of a link to Thompson. I think some relatives of Arthur's might have been Thompson representatives of distinction.
Correct.
Father and uncle.
Father was a very good footballer, I believe. Much better than Arthur. There's the drive-by for Arthur. And he's